each week I do a countdown, and I promise I'm going to have a theme song.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.
Why do I have a square?
And TV and movies too.
Why do I have a square around my head?
Because that's the only way I could do this animation.
That Rick line, that was great.
Oh, the let him breathe.
Let them breathe.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the toy duo, or toy team, I guess, or should change that. And we're going to be talking about action figures and reveals and GIJOE, Star Wars, all kinds of good stuff. We got some reveals and stuff like that. I do want to just say a couple of things, though, before we get started. So I do have monetization turned back on my channel. So if you're interested, I do have memberships, and those are the badges, and I got custom emojis. I've got some videos and stuff in the background. And I have an exclusive community post that I'll be posting on regularly. We'll see how long that lasts before that goes away again. I don't even know what happened the last time. But
toys.
Good job, Vern. Now you got that stuck in his head.
You know what it's supposed to be from?
Man.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Anyways, this week we have Connor from Fuller's Figures here today.
Hello, how are you? How's everyone?
Dan from Dandy 1981.
Greetings.
And Hulk Ho John.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, how's it going? Anyways,
Hulk Hogan. I'm like Hulk Hogan, you know, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to read Hulk Hoedown or something.
No,
You're the only one that goes in there and physically rewrites something every week.
Because it's awesome.
What did I have wrong? I was thinking holidays. I'm like, how is it?
Anyways, let's.
I'm like the Hulk Hogan.
I'm
a wrestler.
Hulk Hogan.
Who's John? Who's John?
I got a question for John. I just want to ask this question before we say hi to some people in the chat. How did you get to your video recording station there from the door? It doesn't look like. Are you stuck in this room permanently?
No, there's a path. Look right here. See this path from the door right to this chair. It's right here.
So you really can't reach anything to the left of you.
To this side? No.
Yeah.
No. I can't go over to that side of the room yet. Not
oh
yet.
My gosh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't have like a dumbwaiter chute that you just come down and insert you into the chair.
From the place.
You know what you need, John? You need a toy room in a different property. That's what you need.
I believe I do. Yeah, I think that might be beneficial. A whole different house with a new toy room.
Franchise.
All right, let's say hello to the chat. We got G-Force. He's in here saying hello to everybody in the toy team. Dan was also in the chat earlier saying hello to G-Force.
Wait. Did my membership start back up now that you're monetized again? Because it says I'm already a member.
Maybe, because there were some people that never, I guess, went in there and physically canceled it. So they just weren't getting charged. And apparently the day it went back on, it just said rejoined. So there were some people that got tricked into rejoining.
Well, I've been tricked. I guess I've already been tricked into rejoining your terrible channel.
I appreciate that.
So
John.
I'm staying there then. Okay.
Right. And I think you keep your badge too, right? So
looks like
John, well, I better keep my badge.
Yeah, Jonathan Redmond is here saying hello. You got Gerard Kane saying hello also. Let's see. Sunny Sundries got up super early in the morning. G'day, mates.
Good night, Sunny.
Dan is all over the chat this week. You got Dino from Geek Strong saying hey to everybody. He is probably driving recklessly and texting at the same time, or maybe he's at work pretending to be at work.
And he's got ducks in the back seat. So
yeah, he's got some ducks. Dandy is throwing out the members only emojis, it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm
excited. Finally got him back. Me and G-Force.
And G-Force has got his 12-month badge there.
Did
12
you see
months,
what he said?
remember.
G-Force is pissed. He goes, "Yeah, I ended up bouncing a check when Vern started the memberships back up.
Oh my gosh, look at
It
that.
ruined it. He was like, he wasn't able to get his groceries. He's gonna starve this week, all because of Vern."
I don't think that's really true. Let's see. Let's pull up Ways of the Sith. He has finally decided to join us. Geek Strong has generously given a super chat of $2. Thank you, Geek Strong. We really
He's just making sure it works, right?
what?
He's just making sure it works.
So Connor from Foolish Figures. He's look at that member for 16 months. Oh my gosh, you
It
guys.
says longer than G-Force.
Longer than G-Force. Longer than G-Force.
That's funny.
Let's
You could
see.
mention
Super
that.
John is also in the chat.
It's a
Left for Dead
competition.
Fed is saying, hello guys.
Hey, Cameron, how are you?
What is this? LF? Oh, okay. Left for Dead Fed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys with your acronyms.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because he can eat emotes.
Emotes. All right.
And Mr. B has joined us. So
Hey,
we
Mr.
appreciate everybody stopping by. We'll keep saying hi to people as they come in. If I left
Where-
anybody out,
You redecorating?
I'm sorry.
Are you redecorating or you moved around?
So, well, I'll just give you guys like a pan. So that's where I used to do my streams from in front of that.
Yeah.
But I did kind of move this piece over to the other side of the room, and so I'm just gonna sit over here for today and see what
So
happens.
wait, Vern,
That's what I'm doing.
Did you have one black comfy chair facing one way, and then you have another black comfy chair facing another way? Yeah, you have one there and one. All right.
It's for
So
doing interviews.
Where's the TV? So
Right
does
there.
one person have it straight on, and the other one has to look at it by going like this?
I was planning on sitting in the one chair to do live streams, but it's in front of a window, and I used to have it blacked out. I used to have like curtains in it to keep the light from coming through, because that's where I would kind of sit. But I took all that stuff down, and it just adds like a lot more natural light in the room. So
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to be over there anymore.
Yeah, that's what I did. I moved my desk a different way, like in front of the window now.
Mhm.
So now the big calyx that's in the closet is behind me, and I had the Joe shelves over here, but as you can see, I moved them a little bit closer to me now, so they're over here. So I literally have to set up the whole Joe area over here, but I got two nice shelves and really opened up this whole wall behind me. So I've been trying to make space, and it worked out pretty well.
Are those the connecting covers on those comics, right?
Yes, they're the
that's cool.
From the last 6 issues.
Yeah, it's awesome how they make a big poster. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I was short. I needed more room in the frame, so I threw in the Best of Snake Eyes and Best of Storm Shadow just to make it 4 and 4. Looks cool.
Looks
I like
good.
that lineup.
Yeah, looks awesome.
And I got this today from Red Flare Models.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
Is that a 3D print?
Yeah, Morai. And so it's got like little the way the talons are. You can actually like put it on her arm. So I was like, it's gonna be fun to paint. It's real small though.
You know what you should do is make a tree, like make some kind of tree and have that you can in a twig that you can sit on that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because he doesn't really sit on her shoulder or sit on. So I mean, I think it should
on her arm. He's supposed to sit on her arm.
But when does she do that in the show? Come on.
Well,
yeah,
it's always so far in the show. It's only sat on a rock.
It's always up in a tree or on a little rock. Yeah, so just
only in Rebels. Rebels, it was on top of the staff. That's where it was sitting.
It didn't sit on the staff. Yeah, okay.
But now she doesn't. The staff basically got wrecked.
Get the staff. You're right. Yeah, we didn't get the staff. You're right.
Maybe she finds it on Peridia though. Maybe that's like part of the story.
Of course, yeah, because it turned up on a distant planet in another galaxy without any explanation. Yeah, fine, of course. Yeah, do that.
It's a spirit.
It's magic.
Yeah.
It's her Gandalf staff, Connor. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so I want to just say thanks to Dino for joining the channel as a member. I think he was before, but he probably canceled it when everything went down. I'm guessing that $2 super chat he actually meant to join, so that might have been a mistake.
She can do.
Like Jonathan is saying, look, I kicked out that blackout curtain, and suddenly I have a brand new full head of hair.
I love Jonah, man. He's hilarious at some of the
Right.
stuff.
Vagon has joined us. Well, look what we've got here.
How you feeling, by the way, Connor? You feeling okay?
I'm still hobbling around like an old man.
Yeah. Supermax Mafia, man. They came and got you. They found out what happened, and that was it.
So someone got me. Yeah, I fractured my foot last week. I don't know how I done it, but I have a fracture. So,
Jeez.
And hello to Kat, who has just joined
Hey,
the chat.
Kat.
hey, Kat, how are you?
And then let's see. All right, everybody's saying hi.
It's
Right.
real.
So
I jumped on Paramount Plus, Vern. So
good for you. Catch
You
up
guys
on
got-
all the Star Trek.
I was gonna say I didn't realize
No.
how many shows are going on. Like there's like 10 of them going on? Like
We gotta watch all the new Beavis and Butthead episodes.
Now,
That's the most important.
did you guys
There's
ever
a-
go to the?
There's now a Beavis and Butthead multiverse with Beavis and Butthead. There's bald
Beavis.
bald like Watcher Beavis and Buttheads, and there's like all these there's like old Beavis and Buttheads, and there's like Borg Beavis and Buttheads, and there's Beavis and Buttheads from all different kind of genres. It's funny as hell.
I was
Which is really funny. But
I was trying to finish the Scream movies, so that's why I subscribed because they had the 2 newer Scream movies, and I'd been watching them all in a row.
So
I
Waze won't remember this, but he's too young. Who knows how Beavis and Butthead got their start?
music
They
videos.
were on. They were
TV,
on.
right?
Well, they were on. They weren't they on another show first, like as a short.
It was MTV.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
they used to have this sick and twisted videos thing that used to tour around. It was Mike and something like that, and it was they had
I'm
like
not too
Beavis
young
and
for that.
Butthead and all that
I
kind of
remember
stuff.
that.
You used to have to go to the theater to see it.
No, they were on that music. They on MTV. They had the music videos
After.
thing they were on. Oh, that was after that.
that?
Okay, and then they started the show after. Like after that, they actually got like their actual show. But I'm a big King of the Hill fan. I like Mike Judge. But
You know what's funny now is on the new Beavis and Butthead shows they make fun of YouTubers. Like
Oh,
one
yeah.
episode, they have one of the Vern rants on, and he's like, "Look at this guy, Beavis." He's like,
That's stupid.
"No, but seriously, they do. They have YouTubers and ASMR people and like girls doing like haul videos and stuff, and they make fun of them. So instead of making fun of music videos, they're making fun of now YouTubers.
Oh my
Like,
god, that's
ridiculous
hilarious.
stuff.
Movement at times.
I'm looking forward to King of the Hill. That's coming back. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool. I was a big fan of that show, and
Oh,
now with all like the
propane.
political stuff that's going on in the world, like it's going to be even more like in line with how it was before. It should be pretty funny.
Oh, I sell propane and propane accessories.
Oh my gosh, Chip just joined us saying hello to Chip.
Damn
up?
it, boys.
Hi, Jim.
Damn it, Bobby.
All right, let's do a HasLab catch up. Last week we had 5571 backers for it,
And it went down.
Man.
What?
Oh, really?
I predict it's going to go down.
Oh, it was 5781 as of last night. Did it drop?
No, it almost went up 200. Dang it.
That's rough.
And I'm like
He said,
laughing.
dang it! Wow.
Especially
How you feel, John?
because everybody's
200. Not
posting
even
great
200,
pictures.
right?
And, like it looks
55.
really awesome in the display that they have set up, but I'm shocked that only that basically
200,
Comic Con got
man.
them 200 more people. That's it.
It's only
Yeah.
got 10 days. It's got 10 days left.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough. I don't think it's happening.
4,000.
I gotta say, did you guys see like Dwight showing off the videos of like how to swap out the face and how to swap out the eyes?
No, I didn't see that. I is that
They
on
look-
YouTube yet?
I'm not sure. I know somebody like posted it, like watching him do it. You know what I mean? So it was somebody I think I seen on Instagram was there filming it, watching him do it live, and it was pretty cool. I gotta say, like it looks awesome too in the display. It's just like I don't need that. I don't have an Avengers display, so like
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing, I just don't understand Hasbro. You guys tell me if like I'm just like going off on a rant or whatever. But
You?
okay, so a few days ago, they said something strange is coming to your neighborhood. Find out tomorrow on the 13th.
And then what happened? What was
then-
it? No.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what happened.
It's got to be
Uh,
Ghostbusters.
Today's the 14th, right?
Yeah, because it was
It's
yesterday.
got
I
to
was,
be Ghostbusters. Come
yeah,
on.
I'm waiting for them. Yeah, of course, because of the thing, right? But find out what happened on the 13th, and then what they decided to do was show us a video and tell us, hey, guess what? You're gonna find out now on the 10/27 event.
Oh, that's what they did. Ryan must be so pissed. I saw his tweets and I wasn't sure like what the actual announcement was because I hadn't seen anything. And this is all it was.
They have a video on their channel, and it's like a dude with a wig playing security guard at the Hasbro place, and he goes into like the toy store, and then there's ghosts and stuff around. So obviously it's a Ghostbusters thing, right?
Yeah, well, we knew they're coming. Yeah.
Don't say what it is.
All right.
So it was a plug to get you to watch a plug about a future promo. It's like that first.
No, I know Ryan was looking forward to seeing like what they were announced because I saw the post and I tagged him and Dave Dimensions in it, and I was like, "Hey guys, look what they're."
All right, predictions. It's Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, 24 inches.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Oh,
I would be in on that maybe because I have the set. I picked up the set from Ollie of the 4 of them, so that might be something I'd go for depending on the price.
Yeah, it's a 24-inch Stay Puft Marshmallow, or it's the Statue of Liberty, 24.
This is what. Tall. Hey, this is the alternate thing that I'm thinking it could be because they did the Proton Pack last year.
A trap, right?
Right? No, I'm thinking it's going to be a life-size Slimer, like 2 feet.
Oh, that would be cool too.
2 to 3 feet tall. It's just kind of like semi-luminescent. It's got the arm. Got like a mouth and stuff like that.
Can it come with slime so that you can pour it all over?
Yeah, probably I got slime. Probably got some food you can put in there, and then you can see him like eating it. It goes in his belly or something like that. But some type of like 1-to-1 Slimer.
That's
cool.
Interesting. I know Ryan was saying
should be something that's big and bonkers.
Yeah. Ryan was saying hope for a trap, like because of the Spengler Proton Pack, like getting a trap to go with the Proton Pack.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it would be another line because they do have another movie coming out. Like,
so
gotta be something, right?
Yeah, they did show the Stay Puft dude. They showed some dude in the Stay Puft outfit, so I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet to go with the Stay Puft if you watch the video. But I just think they could throw a huge loop and just stay with like a prop thing and do a Slimer. I think it would be cool for somebody that has like the Proton Pack to have like the Slimer, especially if he glows in the dark and all that kind of stuff. I think it'd be cool.
Well, Joe knows that, though. They did die on the peg, so I'd be interested to see them like try to do another 1/12 scale line. Because
that's what I'm saying. Like
I got the set of them at Ollie's for $3 a figure. Like
I'm telling you, the big figures didn't sell. So I mean, having a Stay Puft guy 24 inches, I don't know if that's gonna really sell unless they do it in that classic like kind of cartoonish look. Yeah, right,
working double
that way. But I think like I don't know as a I'm not a cosplay collector, but you saw Salacious one of the 1-to-1 Regal Robot, whatever. So I don't know about Dave's Dimensions or those guys that are really into Ghostbusters. I don't know who here is super into Ghostbusters. Would you want a life-size Slimer?
I wouldn't. No.
I think it'd be cool to have, but I wouldn't back. I actually because I'm not big enough a Ghostbusters fan to back anything they put up, but I think it would be really cool to do either one. Even like I said, even a 24-inch Statue of Liberty that's walking around like that has posability to move around would be.
Oh, that could be really cool.
Would be funny, but or like these some of the guys were saying the Firehouse. You know what I mean? If you did a scale one and that the car could actually fit in.
So a Firehouse with a 1/12 scale vehicle.
We already got the car, don't we? Didn't they already
did the car
out?
They did a 1/12 scale car?
So the car could fit inside.
It's on Amazon.
A 1/12?
No, I don't think that's 1/12 scale.
It's 1/18.
Yeah, that's a 1/18 car.
That was for the reissue they done of the
I think the closest scale you can get for a Ghostbusters vehicle. I don't know what happened to Waze. I don't know if he dropped out.
Yeah, can we even hear him? I mean, he technically he's still there.
Completely went dark. But like with I'm gonna take him off until he comes back. But with the closest I think car we got, the Ecto one was the one with the Playmobil.
Yeah, Jonathan says it wasn't to scale with the movie figures. It was to scale with the cartoon figures, but not the 6-inch movie ones. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the Playmobil is like a 4.5, 5-inch scale, right? Like a 5-inch almost. And
Well, the
didn't they make
Playmobil's
one?
smaller. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Playmobil's
it's a little smaller, but I think it's close, right? Oh, Blue
Yeah.
Sasquatch wants to know if this is live, so we need to answer him.
No.
I think Waze got mad that we disagreed with him, and he's out.
I'll tell you right now, Vern is live, but Connor, myself, and Dandy,
They're all AI.
We were pre-recorded AI. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, technically, I'm in the future, so I'm not live. I'm yesterday or tomorrow.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yesterday.
yeah.
Or tomorrow. You're in the future. Dun, dun.
Yeah, the retro ones. That's it. Yeah.
Waze, I didn't hear anybody say anything about Valaverse. Where'd you go?
No, I have a lot to say about Valaverse if we want to get there.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're done. We're done talking about them.
That was it. Sorry, Bert.
Adam Savage has an Ecto.
Yeah, he has a 1/6 scale, and then Playmobil has a 3-inch. Is it 3 inches?
Are you guys sure though? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen a bigger one.
Yeah, there is a bigger one, but I feel like it's not. Maybe not Playmobil. Like, remember they had that.
You couldn't put the figures in it, right? Wasn't it just there was a larger scale one, but I don't think it had doors that opened, and you could. I don't think.
What was that? What was this? What's the one where they made the van for the Scooby-Doo recently, and then
Playmobil.
They did
Playmobil, but they're like for 5-inch figures, right? Wasn't that what the Ecto one was? That's what I thought.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they would do a full Firehouse HasLab, honestly.
That'd be interesting.
John's going to show the Playmobil. Yeah.
Next to a vintage Star Wars figure.
That's not the scale I was thinking of, though. It's
Are you talking about that one that was from Hey Scoob?
Like, I got this thing.
That is
what is this
Scoob.
from? What is it?
Hey Scoob.
Yeah, this I can get my classified figures in.
Oh, I don't know that one. That one's.
I don't know.
Where'd you get that crazy?
All right.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Give the cartoon license to Super 7. They can make. Yeah, you know what? They would make an Ecto one, and it would be $495, and that's a perfect segue into Super 7's newest crowdfunding spectacular, the Cobra Mothership, and the GI Joe reaction. John has already ordered 2, and Jonathan has ordered 222 of them. Bringing the total number of backers up to 224.
Well, I decided to do the 4 payments of $44.68 a month. So
right at the bottom. I'm glad you brought that up again.
To get it for cheaper than the $495.
So for $495 plus shipping, you can get this big, gigantic, hunking piece of plastic with a Cobra face on the front. And it comes with early funding. If it funds really quickly, you get 2 dudes with parachutes. You can go to Amazon and order a couple of plastic parachute dudes and put them on your retro G.I. Joe figures.
I don't think you get the figures. I think it's just parachutes.
Oh, you think it's just the parachutes?
It says soft vinyl Cobra parachutes.
Yeah, it doesn't even say figures. It just says the parachutes. That's it.
Okay. So then you could just go buy the parachutes off of Amazon for like $11. You get like 3 or 4 of them with these little plastic dudes that you throw in the air.
No figures are included till tier 3. Tier 3 is where you get figures, and then there's an extra accessory kit that's like another $75 or something like that.
Yeah, so you get 2 turrets and a sticker sheet with the tier 1 at 5,000 backers. At 6,000 backers, you get the Super 7 exclusive variants, 2 Trouble Bubble vehicles with flip-up canopy, cannons, each with 1 mine and 2 missile accessories. In the tier 3 bonus at 7,000 backers, you get the exclusive variants of 1 Cobra Viper officer and 1 Cobra Viper gunner officer.
Wait a minute.
Does that sound like a deal to anyone?
No.
So let me get this straight. You don't get the stickers for the vehicle unless they reach the backer bonus of 5,000.
Right.
Or shouldn't stickers just come with it normal? I mean,
and the shipping is like $100, I think. So it's not $495, by the way, right?
No.
So, anyways, here's a promotional shot. Here's what you get with the early bird. 2 parachutes. 2 parachutes. Functional soft vinyl. Yeah, you're right. It does not look like it comes with a figure at all. The figure's highlighted. I don't know why they got that in there.
It's another $75. So I had it on for the figures. The 3 figures.
This is a super cool computer render, which you will personally never be able to see or recreate this photo unless you have a really tiny camera and a timer, because the lid is on.
Yeah.
Those are not Vipers, by the way.
And you won't have the stickers for the background.
Comes
So
with
now,
these missiles.
do any of you guys still collect the 3.75 line of Joe's?
Yeah.
Well, I collect the vintage ones,
Yeah,
not the
John
modern.
collects.
Okay.
See,
Well, you do, Vern, or
I just
no?
got
No.
some. I just
You
got
know
some
what?
vintage ones today.
Okay.
I don't.
When
I
we
mean-
get to the convention part of the show, I will show what I got at the convention today.
All right.
I
got
think
some.
that-
John,
I think
quick
that's
question.
why Emily and them are letting Subpar 7 do this Joe stuff, and I think that's why they're letting them do Power Rangers currently. Like, I think that's kind of the deal they have worked out, is like, we got rid of our 3.75 line, so you guys can do that. And same thing with Power Rangers. Power Rangers is taking a break. Subpar 7 stuff is now being sold on Pulse. Like, you know what I mean? It's a very weird thing.
Sure.
John-
Mark
John,
from Blue Harvest has
Like
joined us.
POA
Hello.
figures.
Sorry about that.
You mean the 5? No, I don't get. I only get the 5 POA.
Yeah.
I only get the 5 POA if I see it for like $5 or $6 on sale at Target. Then I buy them.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, they don't seem to be very popular with the vintage Joe collectors.
No,
Look at GeForce. The LED lights make it worth $495. Come on. You know they cannot put lights on something for less than $300. Oh, here we go. Dagon is totally in. He's saying, "Wow, he's busting out his credit card right now to back this thing."
2 of them.
See, I think he still collects the 3.75 Joes, because a lot of his pictures that he posts will be like the old vintage Joes. You know what I mean?
See, Davenport, they buy them.
Oh yeah, you know what? Listen, they look fantastic. If they weren't priced the way they were, I would totally get them. So when they're on clearance, it totally makes me think about it. But because I don't really collect anything in that scale, I just don't do it. Right?
Yeah, that's my whole thing. That
But
was
yeah,
really my back to Ghost, was simply because like I don't collect vintage. I don't have anything 3.75 for me to have to go out of my way to like pick up other stuff. It was kind of like a
Yeah, I'd be the same as ways.
Yeah, so
I prefer the 3.75. I think they should stop 6-inch altogether because it's too expensive.
right. Let's say hi to Navigar, who joined us, and then which is
I guess
it is getting expensive. I saw those McFarlane figures yesterday, the Batman animated series line, and I was under the impression they were the same price as regular McFarlane's.
no.
I scanned it under the scan thing, and they were $30 a piece, and I was like, right back on the shelf you go.
Did the same thing today.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because
Yep.
in 2 or 3 weeks they'll be marked down to $9.99, and that's when I'm gonna go buy them.
I've only seen them in one store so far, like, and it was only Robin and Scarecrow. Those were the only 2 they had.
My targets down here this last week, like I saw about a week or so ago, I saw sparse ones, like 1 or 2 here and there.
Okay.
But Thursday and Friday, the trucks that showed up at the Targets I went to Thursday and Friday for my job, they had like 50 of each character. It was like they suddenly got flooded. So I'm like, those will all be on. I'm like, those will all be on clearance in about 2 or 3 weeks at $9.99 each. I bet you. So
Yeah,
I'll wait till then.
To get them. They would be a nice.
The Alfred figure they announced looks brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to win for the whole line just for Alfred, but if you've been collecting,
I'm waiting for more of these to go on clearance too. The Agathas. I need
ones.
That
Hold on, you haven't painted it. Did you paint that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Agatha Harkness. But I painted it to make Mother. My idea originally, before the Night Mothers even showed up in Ahsoka, was somebody make a Mother Talzin head sculpt for this, and you'll have Mother Talzin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Night Sisters showed up in Ahsoka, and now all of a sudden there's people cast in the head. So I got the one, but I'm waiting on the other 2 casts to actually be made. So I got one, but I'll pick up the more on clearance.
She'll
And
get
where did you
marked
get
down
those
too
head
because
I got it from Bounty Supply this week because Etsy had a coupon going on where you save $10. So I got the kit for her, but it's only the one, the main Knight's Mother. They didn't do the head sculpt for the other 2 yet.
Yeah, they do good work. That's where I got my Black Chrysanthemum kit from them.
I'm trying to think what else. I got a Yaddle head, and I picked up the mother's, the daughter, the son, and the father to do the Mortis god.
yeah, G-Force is with me. It's worthless now, Waze.
Oh, I don't care. It's gonna look fantastic on my shelf when I have 3 of them.
I know.
And then I'll take another one for Mother Townsend. It's gonna be cool to have her too. That'll be sweet.
You know what you
I
gotta
need
do?
to wait for them on clearance.
Somehow you gotta get little strips of like cloth to have it like fly up around her like that.
Well,
you know what I mean? Those little tendrils or whatever you want to call it of red cloth that she has flying around her.
They have this cape that came with Agatha that's very easily to do and pose around because the way the back of the cape is, you can use it for Mother Townsend. But for the other Night Mothers, they just had the shawl. They didn't have
they didn't have the.
So that's why the kit comes with a shawl and then the head sculpt. So I'll do that up. That'll be fun.
But yeah, I have a feeling those will also get clearance soon because a couple of the Targets had like 20 of those figures too.
Yeah,
that must be the only one in the case, right? Is that a Target exclusive?
It's Agatha, Nick Fury, Kingpin, Talos, and one other.
Why do they have like 100 million Agathas and nobody else on the shelf?
I've seen the Nick Furies being sold, but Kingpins, Agathas are sitting everywhere at all the Targets. So I'm hoping they stay that way because I would love to pick up a couple more on clearance. That would be nice.
My Target seems to have like just a boatload of Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've seen the Nick Furies going. Yeah.
But
because the other figures in the wave are, I think, more sought after. Talos and stuff like that. They killed me with that Talos, though, making that neck not attached. Oh, my God. I would have loved to swap out Krennic. I would have bought it right away to swap out Krennic.
And I wish Nick Fury's jacket was open.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He'll be one, though. If I see him on clearance, I'll pick him up for Mace Windu and just put that head on my Mace Windu that's like from Book of... I did Mace, I made a custom of him with all scarred up and everything, like he survived. So that Nick Fury head would work good for, that type of stuff.
Have you seen the animated Kingpin or the Star Wars retro Kingpin next to the movie Marvel Legends Kingpin?
No.
Dude,
I'm sure.
He looks like me.
Yeah.
He's so small.
I still need that Kingpin. I was never able to find it at a decent price. So I don't. That's one I don't have on the retro cards.
I barely got him, but somebody posted them next to each other, and it's all half the comments were mini me.
I don't know why they just didn't use the same sculpt, but I guess because of the fact that he's not Vincent D'Onofrio is not that big, so it's you can't.
Because they're making them more realistic, human looking, right? Because it's a live action.
Yeah.
And now that show's probably might not happen. They basically scrapped the whole show and are starting again from scratch.
What one?
Daredevil. They said that was part of Marvel's new approach. Now they basically Iger got on Marvel for the stuff they were doing and was like, "Why are you guys just shooting stuff without any approval, no direction, no anything? And you're spending all of this money on stuff, and we're not getting the return on any of it." And then whoever was doing the Daredevil show, they didn't have him show up as Daredevil for the first 4 episodes. So literally you were going to go 4 episodes out of an 8-episode series with not having him even be in the suit as Daredevil. And it was
what?
Yeah, no, overhaul the whole thing.
Hold on, Connor, they're asking you for the weather.
The weather? No, Ireland are playing New Zealand in the Rugby World Cup, so.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the 10 code. That's the 10 code for the weather.
No, they're watching football, Vern.
And when you say football,
rugby.
You say soccer. Yeah. Oh, rugby.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. So not football.
Guys, I'm not even going to get into it with 4 Americans. Okay, let's move on. Move on, okay?
Not going to explain it to you Yanks. That's what he's saying.
I don't think there's a problem with doing like Daredevil and the street level like heroes and stuff in the streets of New York City. But where I think they failed is a lot of these things go into the movies, like Eternals and the last thing they did, and now they've got this Marvels thing. Like, once you get into that cosmic realm, the comic books, I'm telling you, they were never popular.
No.
They're not, and they're still not popular today. People, what Marvel's problem is they're staying away from recasting and redoing Captain America, the Hulk, like Thor. People want to see the Avengers. They want to see Spider-Man. They don't give a shit about the Eternals. What person cares
thanks,
about
Now I got to do the explicit.
It's usually me.
They just need to go like, this is the MCU Volume 2. Like, do it like comic books do. When comics
I agree.
Well, that's the plan for Secret Wars, though, John. Is so like the plan is to do all of this Secret Wars stuff, and then when Secret Wars is done, they'll recast Cap. We'll have a new Cap. We'll have a new Iron Man.
Yeah, new Iron Man.
I did a video. I did a video after watching this episode of Loki because we're talking about Renslayer a lot, right? So I started looking at the comics that Renslayer's in. Turns out, like at some point, she becomes like a Kang, joins the Kang Corps as Kang Nebula, right? That's the name she takes.
She's a variant of Kang. That's basically what we're going to find out in Loki.
I think what they're doing is they're retconning kind of the idea. I think this is probably a pivot away from the Kang that they've been showing us because of all his issues. It could be a way just to like make her the main villain.
Could be. Because like originally they were saying like we were going to get the Kang variants being the big villains, and like I'm not a big Kang fan. I get tired of the round and round loops that Kang stories always go in because of time being involved, and after a while it just gets repetitive where it's like the same thing. So for me, like this whole phase hasn't been anything fun or interesting.
I'd like to know what Dan thinks because he has a lot of Marvel stuff right behind him. Should have some strong opinions as to what's happening in the Marvel extended universe.
I'm just ready for X-Men, honestly. Like that's
bring the X-Men in.
Give me X-Men. Give me more Spider-Man stuff. That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
Where the hell is this X-Men '97 cartoon? Like, get on with it. All the toys are out. All the comics are out. Like everything related to the TV show is in stores and selling. And I can't watch the cartoon. Like, why?
It was supposed to be out now. This is when it was supposed to drop originally.
Well, they had to hold some stuff back so you can be entertained through the winter.
Yeah, why not just they're not resolving that strike anytime soon.
Give me one or two.
Seen these images of the virtual crowd people that they've been like releasing, like the people that were like clapping in the stands. I was like, wow, who's paying attention to who's in the stands clapping?
I don't know. It's not a good thing. That's for sure. Because the longer this goes on, the longer this pushes off all the stuff we want to see. Like we want to see Skeleton Crew. Like we were hoping to get that before the year was up, especially if it ties into all of this Ahsoka stuff. Like we want to know what happens. You know what I mean? And now that's pushed back.
We're okay if they push it out. We don't mind.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I was more intrigued of like if it's tying in with Mandoverse, then I want to see how it's going to tie in and what's going to happen. Personally, I'm not a big Jude Law guy, and I'm not a big Stranger Things guy. So that's what this kind of is. It reminds me of like Goonies or Stranger Things in Star Wars. So like,
but it's animated, right?
No, it's live action.
Oh, really? I thought it was an animated show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when they said it links into Ahsoka, I just lost all interest in it because it wouldn't be good then.
and Mando.
I like him. So
hold on a second.
Mando's good.
Connor, does that light behind you? Oh, it does. That light behind you changes colors. I was like,
tripping me out this whole time.
What?
It's been tripping me out this whole time. I love it.
I know, because I was like, it was blue a minute ago, and now it's red.
I'm trying to hypnotize to admit that Ahsoka was brutal. You see, that's all.
No, See, I didn't have any issues with it. I had a couple problems.
I'm only pulling your leg. I'm only pulling.
Yeah, no. I had a couple problems with the overall show and like some of the writing, but overall, I thought the show was good. I'm very interested now. Just my whole thing is like us having to wait 4 years now to find out like what happens. It's like, man, I could be dead by then, and then what? You know?
By then.
That's what Rick over at Left Coast was saying, right? He was like, I'm gonna be 75.
I'm looking forward to Acolyte though too. Acolyte seems like that could be a lot of fun, especially seeing like all kinds of lightsaber fights and Sith and Jedi. Like it should be cool. Like I don't know. It's and Bad Batch season 3 to wrap it all up. We still got that coming. So
could you imagine this? Think about this. This is what's going to happen, Vern. So we're gonna see a future very soon where these robot bodies start taking over the world, and they're all going to be ways of the Sith. And he's going to be like, "I want to see Star Wars." Before, and he's going to build this entire robot army to clone his brain into, so that he can never stop watching Star Wars even after his human body dies.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to build one of those Sheldon Cooper bots that just roll around with the screen, and then I'm just going to stay in my house and then send that. Yeah, send that out in the world, so I can just be here. Make sure I survive those 4 years to see what the hell happens.
Remote controlling this droid around.
I was thinking more like a head in a fish tank.
That's what I was telling Connor and them when they went to Dublin Comic-Con. I was like, "This is what I'm sending over to you. You got to assemble it, and then I'll ride around with you guys."
On the show Psych, when the guy was in the hospital, the main character, he just had the other character carry around an iPad, and on like FaceTime, he's like, "Point me over there."
They did that on Superstore. If you ever seen that, and like she literally like puts a box on the other girl's head that's got a tablet on. And she's like, "I can't even see where I'm going." She's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm directing you."
I didn't see that episode.
I love that show so much.
Oh, it's a great show, yeah.
I wish they brought that back. Like that show was so great. And now like every time I walk in a Walmart, I just have like a little laugh to myself. Like I used to work like when I was a kid, like my first job was a retail store. I worked at a Kmart for years, like in stock.
So like 2 weeks ago?
So I wouldn't be able to afford all this if I only started working 2 weeks ago. But so like for me, that's what's so funny about that show is like I remember all of those stereotypes of like people I worked with when I worked in those stores, and it's just mad funny because it's like they're so on the money with every one of them.
That's why I die watching The Office, because when I worked at Xerox, we had those exact same cubicles. And I swear, there's a person in the show, in the movie The Office, there is a person that I worked with that mimics each and every one of those people. You know what I mean? Even Stapler guy was in the corner over there. And
even that Dilbert cartoon in the paper, that guy used to work for like Pacific Bell or something like that in the office. And all of those things are from stuff that he says happened to him. You know, like when they moved him from offices to cubicles, and it's going to be nicer because you're going to be able to like work around your buddies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's indicative of a lot of places. You always have your token, whatever you want to call it, your signature.
The only thing they left out of The Office or whatever. What was that movie? The
Office Space.
Office Space, right? Yeah. The only thing they left out was the prankster. We had a prankster in our Xerox group, and one day he put like clear tape across someone's doorway to get into the cubicle, and he filled the cubicle from the floor to ceiling with packing peanuts. So it was like the guy walked in the morning and he's got this wall of packing peanuts behind the taped off thing.
My god!
And it was to the top. It was like just to
That's
the
pretty
top
good.
with packing. His chair was still in there, his computer, everything. It was just full of packing peanuts.
That's funny.
I came back from having a Friday off one time, and my entire chair was covered in rubber bands. I tied enough rubber bands together so that, I mean, like you could barely even see the black through the bands. It took me like 15 minutes.
There were probably too many people working and not enough work to be done.
Oh man.
When I worked at Jack in the Box, there was like a stairway that went up to where the manager's office was, and I closed with a couple of people. And when we were putting away the deposit, we were like, there were some boxes of like new uniforms, and we're like, hey, why don't we just stuff some of those uniforms and make it look like a person? And we were like gonna leave it in a chair, but then I thought, wouldn't it be funny if we stood it up at the top of the stairs? And then we stood it up, and then on the way down, I was like, maybe we should unscrew this light bulb. See what happens. Yeah,
That's funny.
It scared the hell out of
the
your
worst
boss.
I ever did. Let's see. Never mess with somebody's stabler. No salt in the margarita.
Asked for no salt, no salt.
Someone has a case of the Mondays, yeah.
Yeah.
We had that girl. That girl. She
Right?
She was always on the phone, like, please hold.
That's
Thank you for calling.
That's all she did. Please hold.
Thank you for
All
calling
right.
Xerox. Please hold.
So normally we do a shout out of the week and talk about somebody who's taken some action figure photos and stuff like that. But I thought what we do is something a little bit different, kind of like a small business shout out of the week. This is Ways of the Sith recommended that we kind of give a shout out to 2797 Studios. So they got their own website. You want to tell us what they do?
So Bill Bat, some people know him as, he is the owner of 2797 Studios, and they work with Failed Imagineers and Johnny Assange, who does the painting. So it's like a team. Lance Peter Luke does a lot of the files for them, and they do 3D printing. So they do printing stuff for 3.75, Black Series. They do some stuff for DC and Marvel too as well. It's not just Star Wars, but most of their stuff is Star Wars. I actually have, let's see.
Well, they're cool. They're nice.
I have the Armorer's Forge that he did for me, which is really
Okay,
cool.
hold on, let's pull that up.
I got the base over here too.
Don't walk away. Hold on.
I know.
I'm grabbing the bottom part of it so I can show the whole thing. But here's the Armorer's Forge 3D printed, and pretty cool.
So if you don't have a 3D printer, this would be like kind of like the way to go. You can get stuff already printed out and painted.
Yeah, you can order it pre-painted, or you can get it, not painted and sent to you.
So,
Put it
what
together.
do you usually do?
I usually get it unpainted and then do it myself. But if I order like prints or like resin stuff, some like heads, for instance, I'll definitely probably get those painted all the time. But stuff like this, I usually will just like to do myself. But I love that last one you just showed.
Yeah, it's a cool way to get like props and stuff like that.
Oh,
But I was going to show you a couple of different things. So like,
this is cool. Yeah.
yeah. So this is kind of neat because you can get stuff that's currently in a show that you might not get. And I did get a 3D printed Blurg one time off of eBay. It was the model. This is before I found people on Etsy and stuff like that doing that. But this is kind of cool because it's the sarcophagus, I guess, or whatever. And if you were to do the monsters one, right?
I sleep in one of those,
Yeah. This is not one of their printed models, but this is the one that you would get with that like monsters deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be super cool, but the only problem is you can see the size on it. It's huge.
Okay.
Well, Egyptians were taller than humans.
Right. But still, for a set piece, it would be really cool. But if you look at like this one that they did,
it's perfect. Yeah.
It's
pretty
scaled really well.
And he's even got like he's got the map room for Indy, so like you can literally print yourself a 1/12 scale map room and like have Indy standing there holding the staff, really cool stuff. Like it's amazing, and like to me it's something that Hasbro should be doing themselves, but they don't. So thankfully we have people like Bill and all these people that create and print, and it's really opens the door and just enhances your display so much more by being able to have this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
pretty
really
cool.
impressed with the Henge one you showed. That's from the Ahsoka show. That looks phenomenal. That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one?
3D sculpted. It looks
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that's wonderful.
And it even has the map ball too. Since Morgan, for whatever reason, when they did the figure, they didn't even give her like the map. So like that actually comes with the star map that you can put inside. And then this is the Nodi and the Nodi speeder, and you can actually print the Nodi and put him in there. And the speeder looks awesome. Like my friend Toxic Collector just made 2 of these and printed them up, and they look so cool on the shelf. Like really awesome.
Having a couple of accessories does go like a long way with like your display and stuff like that. So like you have that Armorer's Forge with your Mando figures in the Armorer.
Yep.
And like I had gotten that blurg a long time ago, and I had always had my quill sitting on top of it or whatever. But I printed out some chairs and stuff also, like so I could have like them sitting around on like my bar or whatever. I'm gonna go get them, but I saw one of those, and not too bad the pricing, I think.
No, it's Bill especially judges stuff off the time that it's going to take him to do. So it's always fair. Like if something's going to take him 2 weeks to print one thing for you, like the price is going to reflect that. But the quality is really good. And like some of the things that I've noticed from buying stuff from different printers, because I've bought some stuff from Etsy, like just from random people that, oh, this is cheap, let me pick it up. And you see like when you're spending really cheap prices on stuff, you can see the difference in the quality of like, when I bought this from Bill, I didn't need to sand this. I didn't need to do anything. It was already taken care of. You know what I mean? Like with some other prints that I've gotten, I'll still see lines in the print and I'll have to sand really bad to try to get a lot of the stuff out, or, support still attached. And it's like, I don't want to have to do all that if I'm spending the money on buying something. All right. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I got my, my space walls actually from Bat too. I got, a couple of different things. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the Inquisitor doorway, like from Kenobi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple things.
So I think that's pretty cool. If you're looking for accessories or whatever, you can always check out.
Yeah.
2797 Studios.
Yeah, they do a great job. And like usually the cool thing is, so like the minute something comes out, like file wise, they'll have it up in their shop. So like you don't have to wait. And like the minute something shows up in a show or something like that, it's so easy. It's cool. And like we wouldn't have that capability with Hasbro. We'd have to wait months and months and months. Thanks to some of these designers and some of the leaks and different stuff like that, people will get this information early and already start working on the file, and then stuff's up right away.
Yeah, that speeder was pretty fast. I imagine that wasn't an easy build to design.
Yeah. So, they got the Sabine speeder up and all kinds of stuff. Cobb Vanth one too. He shows up, and that's like I think his favorite one that he's done is the Cobb Vanth speeder from Mando with like the jet engine that's off the side of it. Really cool.
I did a Boba Fett, and the hardest thing for me is to find like prints, right? Like I know that you can like join, I guess, Landspeeder Luke's Patreon and get all of his files and stuff like that.
Same thing with imprint condition. You can do his, or there's a bunch of them where like you could just sign up for their Patreon and then you get the files that you could download and print.
Now David Carell, he gave me a file for the Boba Fett's throne.
Okay,
that's how I ended up printing that out, and I thought that turned out pretty decent.
Yeah, I have one. I like it. It's a cool print.
Hello, Rolando.
Hey, Rolando.
Yeah, I it's something that I wish Hasbro would like take into consideration, because like I was even talking about with that Boba Fett vintage collection room. All that it is, it's 2 little blocks that make the archway go up higher, and a new dais, and that's all Hasbro had to make that set go for Black Series or vintage. And it's something that they could have jacked up the price like another $50, and people from both scales could have bought that set. So to me, it's like those are no brainers from a corporate company. I don't know why you don't make that effort to do that. I don't know. And maybe the past HasLabs hurt that. Maybe the Rancor hurt that. I don't know from their perspective, but I would love to know from them, like, why do you guys not want? You're keen on building all of this world building stuff for 3.75 when you have 6-inch collectors that would spend the money on it if you made it correctly. You know what I mean?
It's a very interesting thing because like there's a lot of stuff I think like 6-inch collectors are interested in, but I don't know how big the actual market is. And the reason why I say that is because like, so Ramen has done that vehicle, right? But it didn't seem like they had like thousands of orders. I think a couple of thousand orders on that Ramen Racer or whatever. And that was a pretty decent price point. They think they had it down to 150 at one point, which is like half of what the Engine of Vengeance was. And I don't know if you went over and watched their video or their live where they were talking about it. It looks fantastic, dude. The fire has the batteries built into it, like stuff that clips onto the wheels. It's like looks like flame, and it has batteries, and it has like a pulsing light in it, so it doesn't just like a static. And to me, I thought that looked fantastic, but it just doesn't seem like there's a huge audience like after them. You know what I mean? That's the unfortunate.
I think too, though, because there's a huge like mainstream audience that doesn't know about ramen yet. Like it's not. If you meet them at Comic-Cons and see their booth, it's one thing, but like their exposure isn't really big.
I guess you're right.
And so, like people like us who are, you know, and all of us in this stream pretty much that are into customizing and into 3D printing, that's kind of how I found ramen. Was like, oh, they're offering this, like let me check them out, and then now I follow them and see all the different stuff that they do.
Well, plus as well, they've only got a couple of items out, don't they? Like they're still fairly a new company.
Yeah,
so
it seems like they're
their sort of back catalog grows and stuff comes out. I'll get more exposure to it. But that van they announced this week, Fair, and I know you showed the picture of it. I'm going to drop it.
Basically, their own turtle van, but without the like. You can use it for everything.
18 van. Turtle.
But it's done like the turtle van too. That's what I'm saying. Like they made it. When you look at this design, they made it multi-use. That's what I'm.
There's no way I think of the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, see, I do because I never like
the GMC. That is the 18.
But if you put, look
I'm just saying you can use it for everything. Like that's what the point is.
If you put a rack, definitely. If you put a rack on the top with the turtle shell looking thing, and modify, you can do a couple little modifications to this, and it will look exactly like the turtle van. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like this would make a great live action. Like if you have the NECA live action ones, and you don't want like the actual cartoon turtle van, this would be a perfect van to put behind the NECA live action ones. Like this would be cool.
But what if you wanted an 18 van?
Yeah,
same thing.
Out.
Yeah,
same thing.
Except for that line right there. That line wasn't on the 18 van.
He's saying, let somebody else talk.
I think this got a lot of different uses to it. I think it's cool. It works for Marvel. You could put the tracksuit mafia guys coming out of this. Like that would be a cool look too.
You could put Star Wars stuff on the side of it, make it that old Star Wars van from those models.
John, that was a great shout. That was a good shout. The white van and the black van,
yeah. But see, I'll tell you what I have an issue with. Okay,
go ahead.
I like Ramen Toys did Centurions, and they started doing stuff.
Yeah.
They started doing stuff that we got that were in the cartoon. Like I saw a figure for Crystal, which we never got in the original line. But my problem is that's a figure I would want, but I would want it to match the original Kenner line. So I'm not going to buy Crystal because I'm not going to buy the other characters which I already have vintage.
I'm going to take that clip, John, and I'm going to then dub it and say, that's a good plan, John. That whole line where you said, I'm not going to buy Crystal.
But and now with the Mask series, okay, they're bringing out the shark, which we never got in the Mask line, but it's not 2-inch scale. It's a different scale, and it doesn't match the original toys. So again, I would buy the shark because we never got it if it was the same as the original Kenners. Do you know what I mean?
They probably can't do it the exact same scale for legal reasons, but you probably find when you have it in hand.
I honestly don't think they're even concerned with it.
Yeah.
No,
well, some of their stuff, they're on the line of product infringement and still getting away with it.
I bet you they just don't even care.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, like, I think that a company, like, if I were a company that was making these toys, I would either reboot the line and stick to like making what we had as original in a new scale and new toys that modernize them, or I would go, I'm going to make the stuff that should have come out but never came out and do them in the same scale and same design as the originals.
Yeah.
So that if anyone is collecting starting where the original line left off, they could keep going with my new, kind of like the next 17 guys.
Right.
They're doing figures we never got, and they look great next to your original figures. So that makes sense to me. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree, but I just get the impression that it's a new company, so they're just throwing darts to see where they land.
Yeah,
and probably from that it would expand. But
yeah,
I think so.
I definitely agree. You would love to see a full.
Because I guess what I'm getting at is all my Kenner cars are like this big, and suddenly if I get the shark, it's going to be this big.
Is it going to be that big?
So why?
I don't know if it's going to be that big, John.
Why is the scale so different?
You're talking about the shark, right? Let me pull that up.
I know they did the He-Man.
I thought it was a 3.75-inch figure that's going to come with it. It's not a 2-inch figure. I thought it was a 3 or 4-inch figure.
No, because
so they want vehicle scale to 4-inch.
No, the one they done of Matt Tracker's car was pretty much the scale, was it not? The figure was. I saw a review, and the figures looked pretty much.
You're talking about the which one are you talking about? The Great White?
Yeah, I think they're calling it the. Are they calling it the Great White?
Yeah,
right,
so they probably can't call it the shark.
Let me pull this. It's
Vern, they have a in-hand photo or video on Facebook, don't they?
I don't have Facebook.
I don't either, but it's.
But here is the car upside down, John, and he's flipping out those little engines, and you can see his hand. It's not as big as you think it's going to be.
Yeah, it's not big.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no.
See?
Well, all right, I'll take it back then.
I know they did the Masters of the Universe like live action heads to fix those sculpts because Motu for whatever reason couldn't get those sculpts right. So they were the ones who fixed it, and then they did the Top Gun stuff with the. Are those in classified scale? Those figures? The Top Gun?
Yeah, those are 6-inch scale.
Yeah, they are.
I wanted the Tom Cruise one, but I didn't want to have to get the whole set for it.
So. The whole set for head, yeah. That's why I'm interested to see Monster Force too, because they're doing something similar. Did you guys notice that with like their general that comes with the 4 different heads and the 4 different sets of hands, and one of them's General Ross, like wink wink from Marvel. One of them's General Flag. One of them's the guy who plays from Mando, Grief Karga. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But Apollo Creed. Yeah, Carl Weathers.
Not even Apollo Creed.
Yeah, Apollo Creed.
What's his name?
Carl Weathers.
There you go. I knew you could do it.
Yeah. So, like, I thought that was a cool little touch, too, of like, hey, you could pick up this general that's in 6-inch scale, and you can literally use it for any version of figures you want just by swapping the head out. Like, oh, you want a General Ross to go with your Red Hulk? Here you go. You want, General Flag to go with your Joes or whatever. Like, that's a cool... Yeah. I like when companies think outside the box like that. It just shows that you're actually taking into consideration what fans would want or, collectors would want. And you're seeing the opposite with some of the big time companies where it's just like, man, this is stuff that should be no brainers to them, but it's for whatever reason, it's just not coming.
Is there some rule that like big companies can't produce? Like, I don't know how this 3D printing thing works. Like I thought I was under the understanding that from my friend Paul, who 3D prints, and Chris Perillo and stuff, that like, if I create a file, I own that file now. And if I put it out there, there's a few websites that I can put it out there to distribute it for free if I choose to do so. Or I could be like charging money, like say $3 per file download or whatever. Yeah. And my files that I create are protected in a certain way. So why can't like Hasbro or Mattel or some of these companies just get on the bandwagon and put out like a whole bunch of files?
That would be a way to a meet in the middle type thing.
Here's
but
a
I
whole
think
where they sell their own files.
Yeah, could they sell their own files and just say like, here's a whole bunch of background things you can print at home.
Here's where the problem runs.
$5 a file or something. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Here's where you run into the problem. So if you make a file and then you post it on Thingiverse or whatever, and you charge or whatever, like there's like going to be a price for it. What you're doing is you're selling somebody like a self-use license, right? So there's different levels of licensing that you can get somebody. So say you buy my file, John, and which means you can indefinitely use that file to print however many prints you want, but you don't own a commercial license.
Yeah, you can't sell it.
Yeah, but how do I prevent you from selling them on eBay?
You'd report the store, because that happens all the time with guys like Landspeed or Luke and stuff.
But I would have to first. I would have to find it. I would have to know that you're the person that downloaded my file and just didn't make one that. Because I mean, honestly, if you go to Disneyland and take a bunch of pictures of the Coke machine, how do you know? Because this is not Landspeed or Luke's, right? I got this from somebody else, but it looks very similar. It has all the same features on it. He does not own the rights to making a file that looks like this. So two people can make files for this type of a thing.
Yeah.
So how do I know the one they're selling is the one you bought?
Because you'd know from designing it if it's yours, because you know the specifics to it.
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like
they're never none of the.
There's going to be some minute details, but I mean,
nothing ever exactly the same unless it's designed by the same exact person.
But if I open that file up in a 3D app and make some tweaks to it and then resave it as a new file, it's not going to look the same.
Are they not like PDFs where they might have a digital stamp or anything? Are they just?
No, I think that like
you can manipulate or edit that file.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. It's too easy to, like Vern's saying, it's too easy to update that file and sell it again. So maybe that's why they don't.
There's no way to
that could be a reason, because that does happen. That does happen with some of the sellers where they'll notice that some of their prints are being sold and they're not being credited for the sculpt or whatever the case may be. And that's why, like, I always say, and it's something I actually learned from some of the sculptors themselves. If you're buying something from somebody, like if you're 3D printing something, you might be ordering it from somebody who has that license to sell that. So like this head sculpt, for instance, right? This is a Merit head sculpt. I got it from somebody, but it's in print condition who designed the actual head sculpt. So when you're posting these things, try to make sure you're giving credit to who actually designed it and sculpted as well as who you bought it from. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a kind of a common courtesy artistic. So then this way these people are aware that, like, hey, we see the work you're doing and putting in, and you know.
But not just reselling, you're going to have the issue like cassettes back in the 80s where I buy the latest Guns N' Roses album, I lend it to John overnight, he tapes it onto a blank cassette, he gives it back to me. I give mine to Vern the next day, John gives his to Dandy, Vern and Dandy go off and record it, and that, you know, I suppose it'll leak out into the free market very quickly as well. That's
true too, G-Force. You could always do some kind of like watermark inside the print if you wanted to. You could actually have it say somewhere when they actually print it, like your logo is somewhere small, minute on the print.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's saying that in the actual file it has like a marker.
Oh, it could. It's possible. I've never opened, so like I don't have a printer myself, so I've never got into files, like and looking at files.
That would be more deep in the coding, I think. Like,
because I'm
else.
confused because I remember when they did that. I mean, I probably brought this up before, but when they made that Cad Bane with Toto, I missed that one, and I did too. I just got Cad Bane, and my friend Paul, who's done a few 3D prints for me, he was like, "I'll make a Toto for you in scale." And I sent him my 3 3/4 inch one that he scanned in a 360 scan. like photos or whatever, 360.
And then just scaled it up for you.
He made his own and printed it out, and he had to tweak the arms because they were too thin the first time, and he made it fully posable, painted it, and sent me back my original 3 3/4-inch figure with the 6-inch scaled up version. And he said when he put it online, it was the only Toto model to 3D print online that he was the first one.
That's probably the one that a lot of people are selling now.
Yeah, but now we talk about it, and he's like, no one has any credit to Paul Baker for doing the first one. No one mentions his name when he did the first one.
I have seen that Toto because I wanted to pick one up because I was in the same boat. I missed that Cad Bane and wanted a Toto to go with him, but yeah.
And I get confused because I'm like, don't they have to credit him because he was the first one who did it? Like,
they should theoretically, if they're using that same file, that you would think that the people would be, but that's the problem we run into with 3D printing.
I don't think they'd have any protection because I think it would fall under, like, if you think about some of the video games that have cards,
he doesn't care. He's like, I'm not that picky about it because he's not like he needs to make money off it, but it's just, I was just wondering from an intellectual sort of point of view, you know what I mean? Like,
I think the whole thing too is none of these people really have like licenses to make this stuff. So it's kind of a fine line too in that regard of like, all right, you're technically printing something that Lucasfilm owns the rights to, not you. And you're designing.
Like people were making the
kind of like a third
3 3/4-inch black chrysanthemum 5 POA figures or whatever.
Yeah.
They could easily have just said, "No, I made a Bigfoot with a bandolier."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you see some of these companies with stuff like that.
Where if you're selling these files, some are going to be for resin printer, some are going to be for filament. So you can only sell them if your customers have those specific printers. And then it comes, never mind a specific printer. Most people don't have a 3D printer yet. So
what?
Yeah.
They're in every home. What are you talking about?
I want to get one because I noticed
no one's ever going to have a computer in their house.
Listen, so I have a 3D printer. I have the Ender Pro 3, and hold on.
Oh, so
I've started seeing the Ender Pro show up on Temu for like $60.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to,
like these chairs myself, right? They're hollow. I printed out these tables. This is actually hot glue that I made just like to have the little light on top. And then if you put like a light underneath, it kind of shines through. I did.
Filament, Vern?
What?
Is that filament?
I'm using PLA.
Okay.
And then these boxes, all free prints off of Thingiverse. Right.
That looks great, though.
But I've tried to do like smaller stuff. And like I try to do a Toto 360, but I can't seem to figure out how to get it to print that detail of stuff. And then I'm finding out that like for a lot of things, that resin printer is just way better for certain stuff, especially like head sculpts and stuff like that.
This is resin. The Morai is fully resin. It's not PLA. But yeah, that's kind of what you run into is like if you're looking for accessories like guns or creatures and stuff like that, you're better off printing them in resin and then head sculpts in resin. But if you're building like set pieces or backdrops and stuff like that's usually where you use the PLA.
Yeah, the problem I'm finding out is like for stuff that's unique to like Star Wars or whatever, it's really kind of cool to be able to print something just to have it somewhere like this. I printed, right? But for your generic stuff, there's enough out there that fits your 6-inch scale to not have to print anything. And it's super cheap, right? Like these little offices that are set up, like the office furniture and the little computers. I mean,
a lot of
if you go to like a hobby store, you can find a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, what I was saying is I've started seeing like small Ender printers and other things show up on Temu for like $60 and stuff. And I'm really curious about like grabbing one and just seeing like, does it hold up to these $100 or $200 ones that you buy from the manufacturer?
Well,
I mean, why is Temu
look at what the printer is, John? Because on the Ender Pro 3, all the pieces are replaceable. So the little nozzle, you can replace it at some point. Like the bed, you can use like the magnetic, like the little plastic, or you can get a glass bed or whatever. Little tubes you change out, and it's basically just running like plastic through, and then that heat thing just has to heat it up to a certain temperature, and then the board has to heat up. That's really all it is, right?
But you gotta have a big enough one to print the stuff you want to print. So like if you're printing 1/12 scale stuff, the Endor 3, a lot of the stuff is made to fit on that bed. So like you can get away with printing 1/12 scale stuff on the Endor 3, but if you're looking to print bigger stuff, chances are you got to get a bigger bed.
Well, how big is the Ender's bed that you'd buy from like say?
Hold on, John.
Okay.
So it's about 12 inches by 12 inches or whatever. But
okay, because these Temu ones are 6 inches by 6 inches.
Yeah, but you got to think three-dimensionally, John, because like if you're printing something and it needs to be like 15 inches tall, you just change the orientation and have it print vertically.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? So you fit the smaller dimensions onto the board and the longer dimensions because the arm goes up much higher.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they're selling on Temu is like a smaller version of the Ender with a smaller base plate. Okay. But you're saying you might still be able to get height out of it.
Yeah, you just got to look at the height because it's a three-dimensional setup, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Don't think of it like as like, oh, it's got to fit on the board. It's got to fit in the space.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet it's smaller all the way around, and that's why they're selling cheaper versions on Temu.
And resin,
they probably made some kind of deal with Ender to make a smaller, scaled down version that they can sell for cheap on their website. You know what I mean?
Or it's you're selling all your information, John.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and Temu sells all your information. Is that what you're saying?
So now that John has said Temu like 1,800 times, you're all going to see an ad on your Hulu later for Temu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're bad, man. You only have to Google.
You only have to think about Temu.
Yeah, it shows up in your Twitter feed, your Instagram feed. It's like
they show up everywhere. Yeah.
And like
I've bought a lot of Transformers from them.
If you're gonna do resin printing, you need like certain conditions for it. That's the difference too. So like as opposed to like PLA and stuff, you need to have a temperature controlled room at a certain temperature to do resin type printing.
My first Instagram ad
is for Temu.
No, it's for StreamYard.
Oh, for StreamYard.
I think you have to have good ventilation too, Waze. If I remember.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's like toxic stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, for the resin.
For the resin. Yeah.
And you have to know what you're doing mixing it too, because you're mixing compounds to put it together. So yeah.
Sonny's talking about bioprinting, and is that the one where you can print out a slice of pizza?
And you can't do that at home.
That's insane though. That's like what Sonny is saying. They're actually they're
working on it. Yeah.
They 3D printed hearts. They've a working heart that went into somebody on a transplant. They're trying to do tissue and samples and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like Star Trek had a show called Enterprise, I think, right? That was the one that was supposed to be the first Enterprise with Captain Archer or whatever, and he goes in and I think they had the replicators, but they should, if they were to do it today, it would be a bio 3D printer where he'd go in there and go Earl Grey black, and then it go.
They printed Worf a whole new spine in that, and then they teleported the spine into him.
That's right.
In that next generation. In that next generation episode, yeah.
So I can kill my liver.
Some scientists claim they can print a living, growing embryo with all the organs, including a brain.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
Oh, well, you know what? Check this out. So what Sonny's saying is if they can print a living, growing embryo and organs, including a brain. So this, like I was watching, do you ever watch these guys that talk about the physics of science fiction and how like a lightsaber really couldn't work because that beam has no way to stop and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're Hacksmith, you could figure out how to stop it. He did. I saw the show.
That's because he had a little wire or something in there. But they were talking about the transporter in something I saw. I can't remember what it was these scientists talking about it. And they were like saying there would really be no physical way to transport a person, like deatomize a person and send them somewhere and re-atomize them, right?
Have you not watched Fly?
What they're doing is like destroying you
here,
and then making a copy of you somewhere else.
Yeah, and just transferring your brain waves, so
and,
you're like
and recreating all of your atomic particles in the exact same structure. So if this is true, Sonny, transporters like we see in Star Trek
could one day happen.
Are coming.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, when I before I left New York, when I was moving to Seattle, I think this happened when I was like 23 years old, if I remember right. But the University of Rochester, it's a big medical. They're on the cutting edge of medical stuff. They had me come down because they were studying the possibility of basically like cloning and transplanting. Like they said, they're doing a study that I volunteered for, and what they said is we're going to take cells. They stuck something down my throat, scraped the inside of my stomach, they scraped the inside of my cheek and some other areas on the body, inside and out, and they got a bunch of different cells they took from my body. Why is it that
you said from your stomach, your cheek, but you wouldn't tell us what these other areas were?
Some of them go up your, you know, and so they have all these various cells, and they said what we plan to do, what we hope to do, is one day to be able to clone your entire body, and then transplant your brain or download the knowledge from your current brain into this new body. So essentially we could build a 23-year-old body, and when you're 90 years old, you could come in here and get fused into the 23-year-old body and live your life again. You know, and I was like, sign me up. All right. So I went down there and did the study. And got all my crap saved, so that just
so one day they're gonna frame you for murder, or
hold on, wait a minute, hold on. John, did you not like look at them and say, can't you just transfer my brain into a cloned like super athlete or something like that?
Like I want a different body. I don't want this one.
How do we even know we're talking to the real John?
Can I have
him? Yeah, we don't. This is probably not the real John. That's how he's at the two locations. One John is at the one house, and the other John is at his mom's house.
That's John how he's here. The other John is at that convention still picking up.
Yeah.
John wanted to brag about his pickups. You want to do that, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we on the convention part? You were going to talk about conventions today, I thought.
We didn't get there yet, though.
And it wasn't the New York Comic Con, but which was it?
Today I went to a convention called Plasticon, and I got some really cool pickups. I'm doing a whole video on it. I have it on the computer edited. I just got a voiceover and put it up. But I got a cool Hulk Hogan figure from the vintage Hulk Hogan things.
Was that the Plasticon exclusive Hulk Hogan?
These were what? Classic? What? There's no
Plasticon exclusive Hulk Hogan.
That's one of LJN. Yeah.
This is from the 80s.
That's like one of the first Hulks too.
So no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get this. So he gave me this, and I got a Panthro. And Panthro.
What is he doing with his arm? Okay, both
arms. He's like, I gotta get over there.
So that's a Thundercat, right?
Yeah, Thundercats. And then he can like battle Hulk Hogan. You got me, no. And then
it did not look like they were battling at the end there.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you mean they're not battling at the end? Oh yes. And then there's a little wicket. I got.
Is that from the Ewoks?
Yep, from the E.
So that's Ewoks. So that doesn't look posable at all.
No, it's just a little.
So was that a McDonald's deal or something like that?
I think these went with that little Ewok treehouse thing that.
The one they did for them.
It didn't have posable figures that came with. They were just like figurines that went in the thing. But he gave me all three of these for $20. He was like, because like at first he's like, I said, how much is this guy? And he's like, $20. I don't know, I'll do like 15 or something. And then I was like, how much is this guy? He's like, 15. I don't know, maybe I'll do 10. And I was like, okay, and how much is the Ewok? And he's like, $20, but maybe I'll do like 15 or 10. And I was like, how much for all three? And he was like, I don't know. How about 30? I go, $20. He's like, okay, $20. So
Wow.
The guy was just like
toy shows, man.
the guy was just like lunatic with his prices.
Yeah.
But
most indecisive seller ever.
But I'll tell you,
there's a lot of stuff like that. Whenever you go.
When you see his booth, you'll understand. He had probably about 20 Panthros in a line, and like 50 of these, like of
the bargaining that went on there did not seem.
No, it was just he was
one
just
was
like
15, another one was 15, another one was 10, and then they turn out to be 20.
Yeah, 20 for all three. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he just didn't really
first sell of the day. You think?
No. And the thing is, his booth, when I bought these, his booth was packed. There was so many people, and they were just like, there was money in the air. It looked like one of those stock exchange shows where they're like, and there was like people because he had bins full of GI Joe figures and bins full of Star Wars, and some guy's like, I've got 10 Star Wars figures. How much? You said $8 each. How about 30 for the pile? And the guy's like, okay, fine. And he's just taking money and saying yes and yes. And you know
That's
what
why
I mean?
I love shows like that, because sometimes you really luck out with some great steals, especially if they're packing up. If you get them like when they're packing up, they don't want to take the shit home with them. So they're like, I'll give you this. I'll give you this for this. You know, you take it right now, and I don't have to put it in my car. Hey, John already ruined it.
He had like 10 of these Ewoks. He had two or three bins full of these wrestling figures. So that's the thing. The guy had so much of all this stuff that I think he just didn't care. Like he must have got it at some shop that went out of business or did something, and it's almost like he just didn't care as long as he was selling it and making some money, you know.
Yeah. That's how a lot of these. That's why I love like local toy shows as opposed to like big
another booth had GI Joes, and I have these figures, so I wasn't really interested in the figures, but I wanted the vehicle.
You're not interested in those figures
because I already own them.
Oh, I don't have gung ho.
But he had them. Okay, I'll put a new rubber band in them, and I'll send them your way because
I have a whole bunch of rubber bands.
He's super floppy, but I just wanted it for the vehicle and the thing, and he had them marked at $15 each.
I have that vehicle, John.
He had these marked at $15 each, and I was like, with the figure? And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, what if I buy both of them? And he goes, $20. And I was like, what the hell? So I bought both of them for $20 with the figures.
What am I missing? So,
you're missing the rocket.
John, is that this one?
Yeah.
So I'm missing a gun.
You need this little gun, and there should be a steering wheel. I'm missing the steering wheel as well. That goes in that little hole there. And then there's a rocket on the back. Yeah, he's got the rocket.
Oh, I don't have a rocket either.
Yep, we need that rocket.
What does this go to, by the way?
Oh, that's part of the that's a cannon that goes on a tank thing from I think it's from the 90s.
Is it
like then I got a stack of comic books, which turned out I bought an average of $2 each. Because again, I just piled them up and made a deal. Yeah, I got a bunch of Star Trek comics. So a bunch of Star Trek comics.
Cool.
Very nice.
Web of Spider-Man #2.
Oh, I like that one. I have it.
#3. So I
I
had to get some of these early webs, and then this one had the black suit Spidey on it.
Oh yeah,
so
that one's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
And then I have like a couple holes.
Wait, what issue is that? Is that like 30 or something like that?
26.
Okay.
There is a couple holes that I have in my Amazing Spider-Man collection, and they just happen to have 386, which was one I was missing.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So, and then a bunch of Hulk comics. So I was filling in some Hulk holes.
Is that like a gray Hulk, or is he just in a shadow?
Some of these do have gray Hulk on them. I think this one looks like it's just in a shadow, but this is definitely gray Hulk.
That's a great one.
And I think these are McFarlane covers even too.
I think that one is that second one that you have. And
then there's this one where he fights the Thing.
Oh yeah, that one's a good one.
But yeah, he had the guy had a lot of these marked at like $5. But when I piled them all up and was like, "Can we do a deal on them?" They came out to like $2 or $3 a comic, so they were really made out. And then I got Centurions Power Extreme #3.
Nice.
And I had to get this one, Alf.
Nice.
And the cover is an Alf board game.
Oh, that's super cool.
The game of Alf. You start up in this corner and you got to go around this board game that you play on the cover. So I had to get that one.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was. I had a good time. I spent around $65 and then got lunch, and so I was like, I think the comics were more than the other. I mean, it was 20 and then about 25 or so for the comics. So I mean, I did pretty good.
Not bad for 65.
And met a lot of good. And I met a Disney animator there who lives in Orlando, and he was there doing prints and doing stuff. He worked on Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, Mulan. He did a lot of these Disney shows, and he worked for. He's done television series like he worked in the 90s, so he did a lot of like Spider-Man, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and he's continued to work, and he did like some of the stuff like Spectacular Spider-Man, well, it's not new, it was early 2000 something. And,
was that my brother?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it Vern's brother?
Was that what your brother did? But was your brother an animator, or was he something?
Director, producer.
Yeah, this guy actually drew. This guy was an artist.
He started out animating for Filmation, Brave Star, She-Ra, and something else, and then became a storyboard artist, and then through the 90s, I think, was working at Disney storyboard, and then directing, and then started directing, producing. So
this guy only does art. He's an artist, so he does the animation. So
okay,
yeah,
that's cool. I like when you run into people like that, because they can always sell their own art too. So you might be able to buy like a nice piece from one of them or something like that.
He's coming on the show. He's gonna come on live with us and talk. So
that's cool.
That's that's a nice catch.
Yeah.
We traded information so we could get in touch, and he was really excited to be able to come on. And he's like, "Do I have to meet up with you?" And I was like, "No, you can do it from home." He goes, "Oh, that's even better. I'm in." All right. I was like, "I'll send you a link, and then you just have to click the link." And he's like, "Oh, great. Make it as easy as possible. I'm definitely coming on." You know,
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Here we go.
All right. So I didn't know what to show off this week. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot, but I did notice that they're doing this Beast Kingdom. Now, a lot of people talked about their figures and say they're not really good quality. And I couldn't figure out.
Are these guys trying to tell us we have to be done in 15 minutes? Like, what are they talking about?
No, there's 15 minutes left in the game. In this
they want us to stop talking? Did I ruin the show?
No, that's the art of the match.
So I don't know what scale this is, but this is like some sort of a, I don't know, floating model thing or something like that.
Do the doors open and close? Or
apparently, it's
Was that a name?
Yeah, I mean the doors are open. It's got a lot of details on it. If this is a 1/12 scale, that would be really cool, but I doubt it's going to be that big.
Who'd you say it was, Vern?
Beast Kingdom.
Beast Kingdom.
What's the one that Rum is sending?
Beast Kingdom is that bazooka set I got. So there's loads of details on it. I think it was only about €30.
Oh, that's
came with
that looks like something you'd give to your Rambo figure.
Yeah. Well, I wanted something for to go with the roadblock figure. So, but it does. So
that's good detail.
That's Beast Kingdom then.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I have from Beast Kingdom.
Oh, interesting. I was going to get a Batman at one point, but everybody told me not to. Okay, Jonathan's saying it's a 7-inch scale. So,
well, no, he says my bad. That's the Kickstarter.
That's huge.
$300.
Is the Kickstarter one the one that Rum is sending to me? Because Rum got a Back to the Future car, and they won't send it to England, so he's sending it to my house, so that I'm supposed to mail it to him once it gets here.
Yeah, he won't.
No, so it means that I
can't even accept his 1-to-1 scaled Rum.
It means that I get to open it and put it on display until like.
Vern currently has a $3,000 Salacious Rum 1/1 scale sitting in his house.
I told Vern he should open it and put it behind him on every live stream. So it's just sitting there.
Well,
behind him.
Halloween is coming up, so I'm thinking like if I open it, I could just sit it out in the yard, like by the front door or something. Put a bowl of candy next to it. This is Sideshow showing off their Cad Bane that's coming up. I don't know why they would put one without the clothes.
Yeah, why is there a naked one next to
it? Just seemed weird to me, but I thought I'd show that off.
Did you see the Hera?
What?
Did you see the Hera they solicited?
Yeah, I didn't pull a picture, but yeah, I
that
saw the
Toto
Hera.
is awesome.
Yeah, there's Toto 360. I thought John would like that.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I thought the Sabine, the Hera, and the Chopper that they showed off from Ahsoka so far, like, were really, really good detail. I was like, wow, these might be some of the better Hot Toys. Like, they tweak some new tech to it. The lightsabers all light up. Like, pretty cool.
It's just weird that they put the unclothed one there, but he's still wearing his boots.
Wouldn't he be blue, or is he just blue in the head?
I think it's good. See, that's the weird part. Is it going to be just blue in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all the parts that are gray are going to be painted. The rest of it's the standard body is what they're showing.
Oh, okay.
They have a standard body for humanoid type figures, and that's what.
Oh, and they just use it for everything. Okay.
And then they've redone the head, the hands, and the feet because that's what it has to match. And once you put the clothes on it, you never know what's underneath. You know.
Yeah.
G4 still has Rum's 3 monkey lizard statue. That's the
See no evil, the hear no evil, see no evil. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
So everyone should just put those in the background, I think, when they do live streams and stuff.
That would be hilarious. Okay, and then I saw that the Snake Slayer is going to be the next Motu, I guess. Who's excited for that?
Well, wait a minute.
I hear the silence.
I just bought a Motu Origin Snake Mountain. Like, what am I looking at here?
I think.
Is this for King?
Or is this new?
Wait, the Snake Mountain is for Skeletor, right? This is for King Hiss, right?
Right, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Snake People thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what was this an actual playset back in the day, or is this just a new concept?
I don't know, John.
Well, that little gray thing they have in the bottom right corner with the green snake and the purple trap with the tree on it, that was an original playset.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I don't remember this.
Okay, Sonny is saying Snake Layer from Lady Slither.
Okay.
This might be a new playset. I don't remember it from the old ones.
Yeah.
Looks nice. If you're into Motu, it's a nice.
So these are usually around $100. Is that what they usually go for?
Okay, Sonny.
Is it?
I just got the Snake Mountain for like $84.
Okay, so it'll probably be similar, I'm guessing, right?
They had a concept in the day, but never released it. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, apparently that was the vote, and that's what people wanted. So,
did Lady Slither have a song but like the same as Cold Slither? I'm Lady Slither, and I'm coming to you.
You think it would be the exact same song except she said Lady Slither?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, then it's not her own theme song.
Yeah, 100%. Wait to see the price, but that's one thing about the Motu line, like that I think is cool. Something that was just a concept back in the day now is going to be released for.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Right?
I like the idea of that. I think that's pretty.
I think it looks really cool, and like I don't get any Motus really, but I did get the Slither just because of the tail, and I thought it looked really neat. And so
I would like to have her. I didn't know she was out.
Yeah.
So were these the 3 options? Is that what they're saying? We could have ended up with a Horde tank or the snake lair the snake pit.
I don't know if all this is going to be together.
Because that Horde tank would be awesome. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
No way. That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah, that's not. I think that was like you could vote for one of the 3.
Okay.
People won the snake layer one.
All right.
So I gotta ask too. I've been seeing people post stuff about this toy collector. So is this a new magazine that actually gets printed?
I don't know if this is just them making
Because I've seen this a number of times, and I'm like,
yeah, but I wonder if it's them just making a mock-up of
Like
a
a digital
magazine
render,
cover
a digital
to
render
show
of
off
the-
a
Yeah.
picture, right?
It has an issue number.
Does it?
Don't we already
But that
have
could easily be added in as just the issue number. You know what I mean? They could Photoshop that in.
Is it? I wonder, is it a digital mark or a?
It could be. It could be a digital, because that's what Empire
You know
was
what?
doing too. Because I couldn't find that Ahsoka
I-
one anywhere.
I suppose I
It was
could
just
Google
digital.
it and find out, right? I mean, that's what.
Yeah,
Google's
because I
for.
don't know the answer, John. Let's see. G-Force is saying make a Clash of the Titans Medusa from that Lady Slither. I'm thinking about it, G-Force, and I am thinking about trying to do something with it.
Wasn't Sean
Brian
talking
Myers
about?
is here.
Hey, Brian. Wasn't Sean talking about Clash of the Titans stuff? Like he wanted somebody to get the license for it to make new figures.
Okay, so Sean was saying that somebody has been talking about making Clash of the Titans figures. A toy company that recently got a license for some movie where they're never going to have a sequel because the main character is no longer around.
Gotcha.
That was the
Okay.
rumor. But I guess they said that they were looking at it, but they didn't think anybody was interested. I've been trying to float the idea. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I feel like on my computer I froze up.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Am I not frozen anymore? All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what? My StreamYard says frozen.
Oh wait, yeah, your hand is just sitting there.
Let me see.
Is it gonna start playing?
Oh,
Let it go.
he's gone now. So
Yeah.
I looked it up, okay, while Vern is figuring out what happened.
Right, everybody curse.
ToyCollector.com. It is a magazine. It is a new bi-monthly print magazine aimed at collectors' desire for behind-the-curtain peeks and deep dives into the world of collectible action figures, both past and present. You can get, they're at issue 8. Issue 8 has just shipped. Any new subs from here on will begin with issue number 9. You get a 1-year, 6-issue subscription for $69.
Ooh.
So that's basically $10 and something. It's almost $11 a magazine. That's a lot for a magazine.
Pricey.
Yeah. Yeah. That
All
is
right,
a bit.
I had to close out. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
All right.
So
anyways,
it is a real magazine. So
is it okay? So
yeah. Well, we told everybody you weren't paying attention.
okay.
He was busy.
Apparently, what happened was I've been trying to float that idea of the Clash of the Titans with ramen.
Okay.
So every time I see him in a stream or he's doing something, I throw it out there. I send him a couple of messages. I think I did a community post and stuff like that. I'm just trying to show that there would be some interest in it. So I don't know if you guys want to do the same.
So I don't have that attachment. I know Sean was talking about it though. I'd seen him avidly like I want a Clash of the Titans line. You know, like
I think it would be cool. I mean, I know they did the one for the movie a couple of years ago. But I mean, they haven't really done anything for the classic line.
I'll do
right?
it. I'll start a Kickstarter and do it.
Oh, I think it would be cool, but you'd have to get the license for it first, right? And you
No,
definitely
that
do
could
the
be
Harry
like-
Hamlin version.
I could do Bash of the tall guys.
Well, you know what's interesting is because Perseus and Medusa and all those are kind of like in the they might actually be in the open realm.
Yeah.
Like I think Thor and
Medusa
Ragnarok and all that stuff
yeah.
is like open source. I don't
Yeah.
think Marvel actually owns that stuff. Right?
Not
No.
Thor. No, yeah.
Yeah.
But you couldn't make them exact like Thor. You
Right.
couldn't actually call Thor and do him the same way that Marvel does. You'd have to make
You
your
could
own
still have
version.
Thor and call him the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you
Yeah,
could
'cause
give him a
that
hammer.
idea- Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Name Mjolnir even, because that's all
Right.
the mythology stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, we didn't talk. So monster set, anybody interested in this picking up
I
any of the
like that
monster sets?
Dracula has a vinyl cape, doesn't he?
This is the
It
NECA
looks
one.
like it.
I'm waiting for the Monster Squad Frankenstein table because they showed that at JoeCon or Joe Fest, whatever it was this year. It was in their display, but they haven't put it up yet. They've been releasing like one thing every other week on Big Bad Toy Store for pre-order.
Right.
So that's what I've been waiting for was that operating table because I think that would look awesome with Mindbender.
I do have that table though that came with a Frankenstein.
Yeah,
But I think that was Jada Toys, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But NECA has a Frankenstein accessory set already.
Yeah, NECA one. NECA does too. Yeah.
So is NECA 7-inch?
Yeah, it's 7-inch. That's why this dude is. That's why this is so big.
But the Jada Toys was 6-inch scale, was it? Because they did the same characters.
Yeah. And then the Monster Squad stuff is all 6-inch in scale with classified. So that's why I was like, oh, that operating table would be awesome for Mindbender. You know, pose that behind him with somebody strapped to it. That would be cool.
Oh, you could put a blob of meat and make it like this is the Serpentor before he was Serpentor when he was like a blob of meat guy. Yeah.
Or Dusty, you know, you hook Dusty up when they were brainwashing him. That would be cool.
They brainwashed Dusty.
It could be 3D printed tissue like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Those so fun. All right, and then this is the new Kamen Rider.
That's cool.
He looks awesome. Yeah.
I think they're neat. I mean, like apparently they had one that was going to be available at New York Comic Con this weekend, but I'm not actually picking any of these.
And
ones
your figure actually floats in the air, just like the third shot there.
It does.
No stand needed.
Nope.
It's all done with magnets. It's all done with magnets. It's amazing.
I should be getting the final 3 Power Rangers at some point because they're all released on Pulse, but Amazon still has them listed for December.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was weird. They haven't updated them yet.
Let's see. Playmobil got Jason and the Argonauts. The ship is quite neat and floatable.
Oh, that's cool.
Floats. Yeah.
That's cool.
And of course, we looked at this A-Team van earlier, and we talked about the Ghostbusters reveal. That wasn't technically a reveal,
but it's big.
It's big.
Pretty big.
But I mean, like, so were they having any big panels? Did they talk about any of the panels from Comic-Con? Did Hasbro come out and announce anything?
No.
Star Wars team didn't come out with any announcements. During PulseCon, they said we got more coming.
Only thing that was announced from G.I. Joe was Emily name dropped Alpine as being in the line.
Yeah, but was that for the classified or was that a Super 7?
Classified. No, classified. She dropped it. She dropped it in the Super 7 Joe panel that they did together. She announced that Alpine will be in the classified series. But
we got Bazooka. They already pipelined Quick Kick, and the third one in that trio that always was together was Alpine. So they have to have.
He showed up on time.
Holy cow! It's not after 7.
I know. I was waiting. Which is funny because, like, I actually wasn't going to put him on screen because I thought he was out shopping. So in the background, I was like, "Is he in a store?"
I popped in to talk about the Frankenstein table that you guys are talking about.
Okay.
So what that is, it's from the old Remco figures. If you want to pull me up. Did you already talk about this? Did you already figure?
Full screen?
Yeah. Make me big enough.
This is
Hey, Connor, how you doing?
Did not have to get up and run back to show you, to rub it in your face that he has something in his collection.
Yeah.
So this is the Remco figures, right? And there's the mini playset from the 80s, 1980. Well, they made
Migo next to them.
Yeah, that's Migo and Remco too. Okay. And those are AHIs.
Remco made like this, yeah.
Those are These are AHIs. The ones behind it are the Migos, and the one behind that is the Remco. So the neutralizer that you guys are talking about, the table, that was a toy that came out in 1980 for the Remco figures. And it was kind of like a Frankenstein table. And it's very rare, and it's hard to find. It costs about $1,000 if you were to find one on eBay. Wow. So what NECA is doing is they're recreating that table and putting it with their Universal Monster figures here.
Got you. Okay.
So I don't know if you guys already knew that, but
Yes, we actually, everybody in the table here knew.
Look, Dino, I got Hulk Hogan. Dino.
I saw that photo.
Thanks for jumping in and trying to educate us all on your.
He's showing his sale bars that he got a deal on.
No idea.
Yeah.
So we added up everything he traded for that $2,100 sell barge, and he spent $3,300 on all the figures he traded in.
Probably right, but I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. So what I'm doing is I'm tearing down that pegboard. I'm going to move the pegboard over here. I'm spray painting them now as we speak, and then I'm going to put a shelf here for the barge.
No, spray painting as we speak means you would have a can of spray paint in your hand
and a mask,
and you'd be like,
yeah.
You may have already spray painted them. You could say they're drying as we speak.
Yeah. Okay. So I just finished doing that.
I thought he said he was spray painting the sail barge.
John's like, no!
I haven't even opened it yet.
It's gonna make it more valuable, John.
I think the color's off. The color's off. I remember it being a lighter gray, so I'm going to spray paint it a different color.
All right. Make sure you use enamel paint when you spray paint it, so it will always be sticky and tacky.
Yeah. I've done that with some. I put a clear coat on some of my some of these figures here, like this guy is.
Oh, you made that guy more valuable?
So this is a custom figure I made, and he is still sticky after 10 years.
Look at that. Do that. You want to make that full screen, John?
So I just got this, and I recommend this to everybody who uses clear coat for stuff. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I have that.
It's just a clear flat spray. It's fantastic. You get no stickiness. It really works very good. And then I also got the game matte sealer, which is good like for diodes and stuff, but this one works great on plastic. And it's what was it, $3.99? So can't beat that.
Yeah, it's a good
definitely spray it outside because it stinks.
All right, I didn't mean to barge and intrude.
Wanted to, he's in bragging camp right now.
I think there's a
me.
I think there's a face hugger above him. He doesn't even see it. It's gonna jump down from the ceiling and implant eggs in him.
Is that a movie screen or a green screen?
Speaking of cool stuff, did you guys see the auction today?
What auction?
No.
The guy who did a lot of the miniatures for Star Wars, Star Trek, Lost in Space. He worked on like all kinds of stuff. The prices were going astronomical. But he's basically putting everything he kept from all these movies and TV shows that he worked on. Battlestar Galactica, there was horror stuff from that he worked on, and it's incredible the catalog of stuff he worked on. But he kept something from everything. Aliens, Predator, everything. And they were selling some of the smallest things were selling for $130,000, $200,000 props and stuff that he.
Oh, I thought you were going to say $130, $130,000.
No, thousands. Yeah, every item was going for 100 or more thousand, and people were clapping in the audience.
I don't watch auctions like that because
it was insane. I thought when I got the catalog and they listed everything, my dad and I were talking about it, and he was like, "Do you think you can get one thing? We'll get something for $100 or $200, so you have something that was from this guy's work in your collection." Yeah. And I was like, "Let's watch it and try." And then Dad was messaging me while I was because it started while I was at the Plasticon show. And he's like, "We can't afford any of this." He's like, and then I put it out in the car and was listening to it. When I got home, it was on a little bit, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Everything was going for hundreds of thousands,
Mega bucks.
So the guy made out he's gonna retire. He's like, "I need this for my retirement." It's like, yeah, well, he's gonna retire a millionaire, because he's
not, yeah.
Well, good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So then Dad was like, "Okay, now I understand why you guys, everybody in the community, why you guys if you die, your family members have to auction off your collection, because he's like, every time I see one of these auctions, I never realized how much some of this stuff can be worth. And I was like, well, I don't think any of us has like $130,000 item in our collection, but yeah, some of us do have stuff.
Dan doesn't think he's painting his, so he's taking the value off the market.
But I was like, yeah, I'm sure there are some of us in the community that have stuff that could be worth 10,000 or more.
I'm sure, especially the guy like you guys that have like some of the vintage stuff and some of those original figures, like some of those go for a lot of money nowadays.
Yeah.
I had a dude here the other day fixing my cable line, and he was like looking at my room as he was doing it, and he was like, man, he's like, if I had all my stuff from when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, you'd be living pretty rich if you still had some of the stuff from when you were a kid. Like some of that stuff's fetching a pretty penny on auctions right now, especially if it's graded. Like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Theirs is original. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
walked around his whole
one,
house, right? And then went back to the exact same room to make you think he had a different toy room.
That's the
he went outside too, and then came back in.
Yeah,
I'm multitasking, man.
Off, but don't anybody be fooled out there. Collecting what Cole joined us. Let's see.
See, I would grab that. I would grab that.
None of you guys, don't be fooled. It's the exact same room.
First thing I would grab is that Noid up there and run out of the house.
Really?
I like the Noid? He's cool, man.
My cousin, my buddy in high school gave me that like in 1987.
I remember avoid the Noid. I think they should bring that stuff back.
That's what I like about Dino's collection is he's got stuff like from when he was younger too. Like I wish I had some of my original, like from when I was a kid.
Yeah, Cable Guy was casing the joint. Yeah.
Yeah, probably was. Luckily, I'm a gun owner.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, I'm more worried about the house being broke into than this condo because of the situation between the two. So it's like, I'm glad my mom is setting up this whole camera system and stuff at the house, so that way if anyone does break in, we can at least watch them do it. You know what I mean? Hey, that guy's breaking into my house and stealing all my shit.
You should get the cameras that you could talk through, so you could at least tell them. Say,
no, we could.
No, don't take that Yoda. It's worthless.
Yeah.
What you want to do is find a blue outfit with silver boots. Yes, that guy is the valuable figure.
Yeah, you want to take that one. That'll give you the most insurance money.
Forget that Luke Skywalker in the brown outfit. You don't want that one. Take the Darth Vader. That's a Lily Letty Darth Vader with the telescoping light.
I agree with you though, Danny. It's tough like having people like come in your house to do work. It's just like, man.
I mean, I can't be the only one that's a little on edge when some.
No, I'm watching it like a hawk. I'm like, don't you even touch it.
Did I tell you about the contract? I think I told Dino this. We had a contractor in that's going to be doing the windows, doing hurricane windows. And I'm sitting there looking over the paperwork with my dad, and I turn around and he's taking photographs of my collection. I'm going, whoa, what are you doing? He's going to show my friends this. This is really, I'm going, who takes photographs without asking?
Yeah, that's creepy, man.
You should have asked first, you know, and he's like scoping out the collection while we're looking over the paperwork. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's one thing if he said, "Hey, this is awesome. My buddy collects too. Can I take a couple photos to share?" Nonchalantly and without any questioning.
Yeah.
Take a picture. That makes me,
So I'm just like going,
you're never coming back to work at my house.
You're like, we're gonna go with that other guy. We're not.
This is your last. That's it. You're done today.
We had a plumber in one time, and I was listening in because and my wife had to stay home and I was working, and I heard him giving her the quote, and she goes, "I'll have to call," and I said, "That's fine." And then I used the microphone on the my Blink system. The speaker, and he goes like that. And it was funny because I scared my wife worse than the other guy. He must have been used to something like that because he just kind of looked around and then he saw the camera and then he pointed and she's like, "Where did that come from?"
I thought about it. I was like, if someone breaks in, I was like, I wonder if he could be on the thing and be like, you have 5 seconds to leave the premises, or all the doors and windows will lock and you'll be trapped inside. You know what I mean?
Self-destruct sequence activated.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like defensive systems activated. You know what I mean? Just see if the guys
start counting down. 10, 9.
You have 10 seconds to reach minimum safe distance. You know, like,
all doors are secure, windows are secure, oxygen.
Oxygen, yeah.
Room.
Oh man.
Would you notice if somebody took something from your house like right away, or would it take you months?
Oh, right away. Right away.
Really?
The house,
everything's in such like a spot that like I'd notice if something was missing out of the spot. Yeah.
I think it would take me months to figure it out. If somebody took like one figure.
The stuff in the condo here, I walk by so much daily, and I have to sit, when I sit on the couch, I sit under the Star Wars collection, you know, that I look at it every day when I go to sit down. So I would notice that stuff. But I think some of the 6-inch at the house, if someone carefully pulled out one figure, I bet it would take me a little while to realize that one.
I think this could be like a good test, John, because like I think you could tell your dad like something like, hey, one day when I'm not home, what I want you to do is just pick a figure off the shelf and then just put it in a drawer somewhere that I don't look. Just see how long it takes me to notice.
Notice it. Yeah.
And then
that would be funny.
Because I don't honestly, I mean, like, even if you look at it every day, I don't know if you would notice, because I know my shelf, my Star Wars shelf, I look at it a lot, but I don't notice. And then until I move something around and I go, oh, this dude fell off the shelf. I wonder how long he's been on the ground.
Yeah.
Bro, let me ask you a question real quick about your vintage Star Wars. You said that you're missing a Hoth Leia, right?
Hoth Leia, I don't have it there.
Now, would you be fine with the retro Hoth Leia, or does it have to be the vintage?
No, I won't put any retro ones in those cases.
Okay.
Because otherwise,
I guess. All right, I'm going to take it out of the package. Out of the mailer.
Yeah. I still got to look for, who else was I looking for? Was it Mr. B or G-Force or something? I don't know. I got a couple people, but when I get everything situated, I've got bags and cases like this black blob right here. That's all Darth Vader cases full of Star Wars figures.
Really? Do you have an extra Hoth Leia?
Oh, I'm sure I've got 2 or 3, 10 of them probably extra.
So
there's 6 Darth Vader cases full of vintage Kenner Star Wars figures, and then on the other side of this thing, there's a box full of figures that are just in Ziploc bags.
I just was in my garage looking, moving stuff around. I found my Darth Vader case, and I opened it up. It actually had Darth Vader and a Bespin guy in it, and I was like, "Why are these still in this garage?"
And you found a bunch of vehicles too, right? You found your whole.
Yeah, I pulled out all my vehicles and stuff. They're all parts. None of them are complete. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
But
with my GI Joes, you'll notice when I start a GI Joe video, it's like, it's time for another incomplete GI Joe vehicle. And I'm always missing one part. You know, it's like I can't get a freaking like most of the time I can't get one that's complete.
I'm with you, Jono. OCD for the win. I'm the same.
I find if I'm doing something and I can't find the accessory, I go into total panic meltdown, even though it's probably
I'll be doing like a review and like I'll drop it, like I'll see it pop, and I was like, oh. And for like the life of me, for like 10 minutes, I'm like doing this on the carpet.
It'll be totally.
Oh, well, see, you have carpet. That's why. That's why I love hardwood floors, because 9 times out of 10 you drop it. You're like, I heard where it fell, and then you can spot like, all right, there it is.
Yeah. But I tell you, I swear there's a black hole right below this table, because sometimes I'm looking at something and the accessory falls by my feet. I hear it go tink tink, and I'm like, it landed by my feet, and I look down.
It's not by your feet.
It's not
Yeah.
under the table. It's not on by my feet. It's not on the chair.
Exactly. That
It's not
hardwood
behind
floor
me out
story you
there.
guys are telling
Yeah.
is not true.
It's
I
just
don't think the
completely
laws of
gone.
physics apply when they
No.
fall on those floors.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
it goes,
Definitely.
it's the smallest thing. It goes right under like a crack of something. And
That
you're like,
happens a lot.
can't
That
find
happens.
it forever.
Now I got to move the whole shelf out to
Yeah.
get this little piece.
Yeah.
I didn't even,
I
I didn't
recently-
even dump the vacuum anymore without sifting through the little
Right?
thing
Yeah.
to make sure there's nothing in there.
I recently dropped Chewbacca's crossbow behind my speaker here, and I was like, maybe in
It'll stay
a
there.
couple of months I'll go for it, but I'm not moving all that stuff over there to
Yeah,
get
my
it. At least I know
layup
where it
blaster
is.
was
Yeah,
behind,
yeah.
behind my TV stand cabinet for probably like 5 months, and one day I finally just lifted it and moved it, and I was like, oh, and there's a few more weapons back there.
Yeah.
I did that before I moved. One of Kenobi's like lightsaber blades had came out of the hilt and like fell behind the calyx. And so when I moved the calyx, I had known it was there, but I was like, I'm not getting it until I move the calyx. And so when I moved the calyx, I pulled it out, and then there was like a couple other pieces of stuff back there, and I was like, where the fuck did this go? Like, where was this?
I thought I lost the blade for my Luke Skywalker double telescope, but it was jammed inside there. I was able to pull it out.
Okay, yeah. I was talking about it on Instagram the other day. I was like, you know, as a toy collector and like a normal person,
Yeah, that's
when
right.
a normal person hears like a noise drop in the middle of the night, you know, and automatically goes to thinking, oh, there's somebody trying to break in my house. When you're a toy collector and you hear a drop in the middle of the night, you're like, what fell over now? Like,
Yeah.
what
It
fell
must have
over
been a
now?
McFarlane. I
Yeah.
have that all the time.
Yeah, as soon as the AC comes on in the summer, like I
Yeah.
can hear something.
I'll hear it in like the middle of the night, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just hear like, dum, dum, and you're like,
They had a
then
design
I come in
figure
here.
that
I come in here the
stand up.
next day, and you know, then there's something I got to pick up or move around.
Yeah.
You would think that like somebody who's in the collecting community that also maybe is in like the furniture community, whether they work for IKEA or whatever the case may be, you would think by now like they would have came up with like, hey, we're gonna design special stuff just for people who collect.
Yeah,
You
you know
know-
what? Somebody should come up with like a little plastic like circle or something like that with a little nub on it that will stick into that hole on the bottom of the action figure feet.
I bet
Oh
you
my
could 3D print them.
I've never heard that before, Vern. I've never heard of these action figure stands that you speak of.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like like if you're specifically designing like a piece of something for, you know, these types of displays, it would be cool to like come up with an idea of like maybe you purposely design it with an option for a footboard to go in that has these pegs on it already. Or
Yeah, but I
whatever
think
the
that like takes like I would never buy something like that because I think it would like it's like trying to tell me to predetermine where I'm gonna like stand my stuff. Right.
I can see that. Yeah, I can
And,
see
like-
that. That would
like-
be an issue.
Some of my shelves they're not even like that. Like I have like that like bar setup one where it's like they're all kind of just like hanging out. Like they're all just like
Sticky tack.
chicken tears.
See, what I usually do is I'll put them underneath like my pinball machine here. So, like I have the Kraken over here, my Inhumanoids, there's Shogun
More
Godzilla.
bragging camp.
Oh, is that bragging camp?
Bigfoot? Is that Bigfoot? from
My
Harry
double
Potter?
telescoping
You got the
lightsaber.
Kraken?
My Kraken's down here.
Yeah, he's got
bragging.
Bigfoot there.
That's Harry and the Henderson.
Yeah, I know it is.
And now they're coming
Oh, yeah,
out with
there's Alien over there too, the 18-inch Alien.
Uh-huh.
Forgot about
Never
that one.
dinosaur stuff again. Somebody got the license for the dinosaurs, and they're showing that
Yeah,
off. At,
NECA.
yeah, really funny.
Yeah, I want to get the baby one.
Yeah,
Like the TV show? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the dad.
Mama.
The dad is one of my hey guys. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I put him on some of the videos.
Yeah, they have the dad and the baby out.
By the way, if
Teamwork.
anyone sees any TV show or cartoon or anything where someone says hey on it, cut that clip out and send it to me so I can use it as a hey clip.
Fat Albert.
Do you want me
No,
to clip
Fat
this
Albert
video for
went-
you?
Fat Albert went hey. That was different than hey.
You can go hey.
Babu Frick. Babu Frick.
I got
Hey!
Babu. That's where it
Okay.
started.
And
I
then
got
one of
Babu Frick.
the note. What are those creatures in Ahsoka? No, the
Noti?
Nautis or whatever. They
Yeah.
did it too in the
Yeah.
same
Say
voice
hey,
as
hey.
Babu Frick.
Did
Yeah.
he say hey? I gotta get him. I
Yeah.
gotta cut that. I gotta cut that clip then.
I can't remember which episode, but it was
I hope Hasbro makes them. Like I'm assuming it's probably not going to be something they make, but I would love if like they did like another one of those porg packs with a couple of those Noti. Like that would be awesome. Like two.
Oh, they'll do it. They'll do it. It's just you're gonna have to. It's 2023 now, so 2025 they'll pipeline it.
Yeah, they'll pipeline it. No, it won't be released. 2026 release. Yeah. Pulse exclusive, just to stick it to Connor and
action figure size airbags.
So let me ask Dan. Dan, have you made any dioramas lately?
Have I made any?
Yeah.
No, but I am working on. Do you remember not the cross streams, but the our points of articulation?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have started 2 other lightsabers.
Nice.
So we did that once, right?
Right. We did
that
lightsaber thing. Yeah, I got some new materials, so I did start working on those. But I've been way out of the diorama thing.
Better late than never on homework.
Right? Exactly. Right, Vern?
That's right.
That's cool. That's cool. That's
He's
really
gonna turn his lightsabers in about 2 years late.
No,
I do want to make a base for this. I want to make a diorama base for this Jabba's palace.
More bragging camp.
If you look at Cardboard Galaxy, they have the floor.
What? This?
Yeah. Oh, you got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm gonna do a video on this one. The cardboard's cool and all, but I like the foam and making it like legit, you know. But it's definitely a good option.
I'm tempted to buy that now and do the add-on kit to make it 6-inch scale. That's what I'm on the fence about picking up that Boba Fett throne room. Just
he's not even reading it, is he?
They made a 6-inch kit for it.
Extension.
Yeah, it's basically 2 plugs that fit in on the arch and a new throne that mounts on the step that sits on the steps, so it'll fit for Black Series.
I think the only thing that extension would be good for, I think, would be to stick like Han Solo there behind it, right? Like, I don't think because it's not wide enough. They should, if there was a way that it would separate at the top and they added another piece in, I think it would be really good to get that fuller effect. But
but I have it here. I did a cardboard.
I put that on there. I thought that the fuller effect.
You got something to say about that?
Just found my new catchphrase.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning into the fuller effect. So what's everybody got coming out this week? Anything interesting?
Nope.
I got the X-Men 97 review. I did do the X-Men 97 review and Deadpool and Bob. I got them. And then I got actually, believe it or not, a lot of Marvel Legends. I got the Daredevil and Blade too. So a bunch of Marvel Legends reviews. Yeah.
I thought that wasn't supposed to come out for like till the 26th.
Yeah, it wasn't. But Amazon loved to stick it to us this month with just pumping stuff out.
That was amazing. I was watching you guys get all kinds of shipping notices, laughing.
That Blade is from the new comic, right? Isn't it the new designed one?
It's a Midnight Suns look, so it's from the video game that they did. And then Daredevil.
You have it already?
Yeah,
you have it at home.
Right here. And Daredevil is there's the Blade.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh wow.
And then there's King Daredevil from the Shadowlands comic.
Yeah. Make him big, Vern. I'm on my phone. I can barely see it, and I don't have my glasses either.
Why are you on your phone?
Yeah, he's got the stake. Yeah,
oh wow.
That's awesome.
And then he's got the only thing I don't like about this is my nitpick with Legends is there's no place to put these extra accessories. So like you kind of have to just tuck them into his jacket and kind of like have the jacket hold them there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like is like they don't
sticky.
They're not like they don't
always
they have like holsters and places for them to hold all their stuff. But really cool. Really this Daredevil's sweet looking.
That Daredevil's awesome. Yeah.
And it goes perfect with that new Elektra that just came out. So that's mainly why I picked up this Daredevil. them side by side is from the same story arc, so it's pretty cool.
And that Electra's she's on clearance for like $15 right now at
$7.
She was $7.
$7, wow.
One of the ones, yeah.
$7 at Target. Yes, all that whole wave is $7 at Target right now.
And I found out with one of mine that if you, what was it? It was the Masters of the Universe Whiplash. Someone had a picture on Twitter with scanned it at their Target for like $6.59 or whatever it was, and my Target had it at $9.99. But when I went up to the register, I said, "Look, they're $6.59 at other Targets. Can I get it?" And they matched the price. They were like,
"Yeah, Target's awesome for that."
Really good. Even with that deal that was happening last week, that Save 10, they weren't doing, for whatever reason, for half the week, the Save 10 on 50 wasn't working.
Oh, it wasn't working. Yeah.
I had brought it. Yeah, I had brought it to the register. She gave me a $10 gift card and took the $10. So I was like, great, thank you very, very much. Like,
and this guy, check this out. I found a grunt in the store. Luckily, I had asked the guy like the week before when they were showing $11.99. I was like, "Hey, man, this is supposed to be $11.99." He went back, couldn't find them. They were supposed to have had 4.
Yeah.
Following week, it was fixed. But when I went back, he remembered and $11.99.
Wow. Nice. I'm still looking for him. I know he's on Amazon, but I've been trying to find him in the wild, and
that's the only one, dude. I only found one of them.
Yeah.
I found Lowlight the other day in GameStop, which was cool. I got Tunnel Rat and I got Firefly, but I have yet to be able to find him. So.
I'm trying to find the McFarlane animated Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze. Target's nowhere around him has them.
Yeah, has them in his Target.
Yeah, I found Scarecrow and Robin, but they were $30 a piece. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
but they have a different. They have 2 versions of Scarecrow, and one is more of a mustard color versus the bright red. And I don't want the mustard color. I want the bright red, the original colors.
Yeah.
On Thursday and Friday of this week, my Targets that I went to for work, they each got like 20 or 30 of each figure in. Like it just came in the truck as like a mass. So your Target should start seeing, because it was a few weeks ago they got that first batch of just like 1 or 2 of each figure. And then all of a sudden this week they got like 20 or 30 of each figure.
They opened for quite a bit on eBay.
So I was like, oh, these are going to go on clearance in about 3 weeks. So
they sold out pretty quick. Like when they went up on Target's website, they're gone. Alfred, the day he went up, within an hour he went up, he was sold out. So it's like,
I'd get Alfred too. I like Alfred.
It's a hot line. It's just I don't want to spend $30 a figure on those.
I don't like what they did with Batman and Robin is they made them cell shaded, and the cell shading's horrible.
I don't like that. Yeah,
somebody else said that earlier.
I'm not trying to be like follow everyone's complaining about it, but the cell shading is really bad. I mean, it doesn't even look
everyone else
off. Yeah.
Like everyone's complaining about it. It really is legitimately
negative,
pretty bad.
Negative.
Well, he'll you know what he'll do is he'll just re-release them in the regular colors, and you know what I mean, because he makes 3 or 4 different versions of every figure, anyways. So
I think that one was already released, wasn't it?
He's released that Batmobile now like 3 times because it keeps selling out, and he's just all right. I'll put them back up. Let's make more. Like, why not?
I can't believe I keep missing it. It's like the other day I saw someone post it up, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" I went to the site and it was gone. I went to the site and it was gone. I was like, "What the hell?"
Dude's been trying to get it, and I keep sending it through in his chat just for him to be able to pick one up. And every time I send it through, I guess he's at work or whatever during that time, and he misses it every time I sent it through. So it's like,
Batmobile?
Yeah, he's been looking for the Batmobile set because he missed out on the McFarlane one. So that's what I keep sending him every time they relist it. And
what are you talking about? The gold label one for $74.99 is currently.
Is that the one that comes with the Batman though, or is that the Flash?
Yeah, it's currently available in stock right now on Amazon. Let me show you.
Huh? There you go, John.
I just see it all the time. Like, what the heck? It's just always available.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Also, it must have popped back in today.
It did. The other day it wasn't up. Yeah.
No, it's sold out. It was up during the Prime
There you go.
deals, and they put it back up. So send that to
There's the link if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just getting it. Yeah.
Guys, I got to get going. It's getting late.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think we all have it hitting 2 hours here.
What are we,
Look
Inception?
at that, we're showing. I'm showing the stream on the stream.
All right, so this week, what do we got? We got nothing being teased, right? We got 10/27 we got to wait for Hasbro.
I guess, yeah. Unless they're just going to tell us 10/31. We're really going to show you what's going on.
Well, you know what they're making, don't you? They're making a Stay Puft.
What?
I know, but they're going to make a Stay Puft.
No, I think it's going to be a 1-to-1 Slimer.
No, it's going to be a Stay Puft to go with the
1-to-1
with
Slimer.
the 6-inch line.
The action figures that never sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean never sold? I have a few of them right up here.
Fucker.
I picked them up from Ollie's for $3 a piece. That's how I made the team.
People you got me Bankman coming.
Yeah.
I still need Winston from the glow in the dark version.
All right, I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks.
It went through, Jonathan. I just bought it. It went through.
Did you use my link?
No.
Can you cancel it and use my link?
Cancel it and use Vern's link.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Send it to dude.
Dan, we get Toys and Fitness tomorrow morning?
We can, yeah.
All right. I'll set up the stream tonight.
All right,
9 o'clock tomorrow morning,
right.
Eastern time.
Oh, that's why you came in, to plug your own show.
No, I came to brag.
Usually
I came to brag about my painting, about my spray painting skills.
I'm already
I'm
gone.
going to have some Plasticon video coming up. Connor, you got anything you're working on?
I tomorrow will be working on a video for this guy, but it won't be on my channel.
Okay.
And I've just posted a video for this guy, but I want to show you I'm Postman currently holding a more accurate automatic.
Oh, nice.
Dr. Jones.
Dr.
I don't find
Awesome.
So impressed with this guy.
Yeah.
He's such a cool figure. So
Thank you.
that's my
The
current
dog's
video at the
named
moment.
Indy.
I'm waiting for those
Junior.
Indiana Jones figures to hit Ollie's, because I will pick up a few of them when they hit Ollie's.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, they were at Target for like $3 the other day.
See,
See that? video?
my store doesn't have any and hasn't had any. Like every time they've got the indie figures in, they've only gotten one case, and it's been like the same one sitting on the peg for the longest time. So I
Same
picked
here.
up I picked up the chick from the newer movie. I forget her name. She was on clearance for like $4 the other day, and I grabbed her just because they're in scale with Star Wars. They're the same, same style figures. So for custom fodder, like and parts, yeah, I'll pick them up absolutely.
And it comes with a builder piece, right?
Yeah, it came with the skull. I put the skull in the Mando display.
You build the whole skull?
I picked up that one figure because that's all they had left. So like that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for it to show up in Ollie's so then I could pick up. I can have an indie. I can have a couple other characters.
I'm going to get the Antonio Banderas figure because he looks like Shipwreck's dad. So
Dan, you're gonna be hosting the fitness show tomorrow on your channel.
Co-host.
Yeah, dinner host sometime soon, right?
I'm the second best co-host there is.
All right, and then thanks everybody for jumping in today and
we
hanging
went
out. I
long.
really appreciate it.
I
everybody-
didn't jump. I just I just sat
But you
here.
physically had to go in there and type in a new name. That was a lot of work.
You kidding? I don't think I jump anywhere anymore.
I just want to say thanks to everybody who came around in the chat and just sat around watching us.
Yeah, we had fun. It was. We didn't have a lot to cover or talk about this week, so it was more just a hangout stream. But we had fun. We had a lot of diversity topics.
We managed to get a soak in there on 3 different occasions, which I'm still
He
doing.
tried. He kept trying to bring up Star Wars. Let me bring up Star Wars. Let me bring up Star Wars. All right.
I had Plasticon toys to show off. I had stuff to talk about.
You know what I mean? Nothing news-wise, I guess, unless you want to talk about, did anybody order any of the Walmart CollectorCon stuff?
No, we're done talking about all that.
What was revealed?
It was
nothing. The same
glow
stuff
in the
they
dark,
showed us
the glow in
already.
the dark Ahsoka, and then the Night Force stuff for GI Joe. That was about it.
I would have liked to have got a Tunnel Rat Night Force, but it all sold out before I even had a chance to even look at stuff. So
Yeah,
the Tunnel Rat did anyway. But I mean, he's the only one I would want. But I'll end up getting him. He's not gonna.
Yeah, it's going to be available, John. I would.
Yeah.
All right, and then I know there'll be a little countdown, but let's just take a look at the intro as an outro. Each week I do a countdown, and I promise I'm going to have a theme song.
Toys, toys,
Why
toys,
does
toys,
Vern
toys,
always
toys,
talk
toys,
through?
toys, toys, toys,
Toys,
toys, toys, toys, toys, toys, toys,
Hey, dude, shut off my mic.
toys, 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 toys,